Oh, ooh, sorry. Ooh, oh man. Greetings, Charles. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Greetings, Matt. Oh, shit. Mm, mm, mm. Let's see. Folks, this is Sunday Madness. Um, 15. Yeah, I dozed off a little bit. My fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. Yeah, this is yeah, I dozed off a little bit. Damn. Brain was splattered. Okay. Mm, quick. It's quick. Okay. It's been a long. Yeah. Where's that piece of paper I want to find? Mm, okay. Today we're going to talk about some interesting topics. I think mindless topics and glorified echo chambers. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go once again. It's 2:30. My brain's is all and no peer leadership. Okay, we're going to talk about that today. Let's see. My brains is all out. Egg scrambles. Okay, let's go here. Sunday Madness series. Boom. All right. All right. All right. So I'll get my brain splattered. Okay. Ooh. It's kind of drained a little bit. Let's look at nonprofit. Yeah. See right quick. All right. All right. All right. We're good. Let's go on to generate. Salute. 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 What's going on, man? Yeah. It's been a long, long week for me. A little rough, but I'm still good though. But yeah. Let's get into no peer leadership. I mean, I've studied this since probably 2 years ago. And when I see these spaces, it's the same concept over and over again, mostly in black spaces. But shouts out to people that came and things like that. It is what it is. But normally because I dozed off for a minute. I said, damn, I was like, my brain was like oozing out, man. I'm like, what the fuck? I was tired. And yeah, I got disgusted with this interface I done got. It was a replacement for the one they had. It was not in the store, but I'm gonna find out which mic that will go good with it. I don't know if I want to keep it or not. But got some information though. But yeah, but the no peer leadership. That's basically when you see people, and it goes right into glorified echo chambers. We'll get into that in a minute. When you see bad leadership, you see people don't explain it very well. And you see this all the time. And I think when I was on YouTube years ago and things like that, leadership was kind of good. And next thing you know, offline, it's the same way. The only difference is you actually see the person, you actually move different. But nowadays, people talk about this wild stuff. Have, well, we're about to get into the next one, but leadership is very important. Once you don't have a lot of leadership, it becomes a huge problem. when you don't have a lot of leadership, I think people just go chaotic sometimes. But when you see in these newer contents like live streams and things like that, I've noticed for like the past 2 years, it just falls apart. I mean, I don't care if the leadership was great in the days of YouTube, then it falls off on deaf ears. So that's just my take on leadership, and that's just the whole purpose of it. But we're going to talk about glorified echo chambers. I mentioned this last Thursday. I know people got offended when I say that. Glorified echo chambers can be anybody. They can have them. It's like the norm. It's like religion. Um, when you talk about when people mention trauma bonding, it's kind of like a religion. It's like when people don't deal with what society deals with, it is what it is. And I think people just don't like when I speak on this type of subject right here, glorified echo chambers. I got this from a channel when someone typed it in the comment section with when Marquise Brown was talking about the subscribers and things like that. I think I posted that on that last Thursday. But I was basically saying someone was agreeing, everybody was agreeing with his comment, the guy that commented on that video. That's what you get. And they was talking about different things, not just numbers, but what I've noticed that became the norm. Back in the older YouTube days, it wasn't like that. You just did your content and you just moved on. And it can have an adverse effect, things like that. And yeah, anybody can have an echo chamber like that. And I've noticed that like 2 years ago, I learned what that was. I already knew what it was, but once you have it, it becomes like religion, because when religious folks, they have their natural echo chambers, and they got the collection plate, church, and things like that. It's one of those things that I've noticed from, well, especially us, us black people, but other people do it the same, a lot worse too. And I noticed some during the pandemic days, right? 2020, it exposed a lot of people. Before that, it wasn't like that. But when I saw it and when everybody shut down, they were sitting on their asses and be on panels all day. And I've learned this from last year. And the reason I'm bringing this up, I saw this 2 years ago before I even do this type of content. I know people are tired of it and things like that and be solution based and be solution oriented, just go out there and do it. That's easy for some of us, but the majority of people, they just don't feel like doing that. And I noticed something. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? You know what I'm saying? Because most people, they want to talk about this mindless stuff. And I think I'm about to get into the next segment of, we're going to stick with the echo chambers for a minute. I see so many people have their own echo chambers for years, but the biggest ones we've seen, yeah, they're going to talk bad about KS. Yeah, they're going to talk about everybody. But what I've noticed, it's like religion, bro. Like, I'm not even mad, though, at this point, because I realize what that is. It's their thing. That's cool. But I've noticed something. Now, you got some that will utter KS badly. That's normal. I've seen that 2 years ago. And when I say to this guy, I don't really care, but I blame these dudes in these spaces allowed him to finesse and finagle like that. But that's what you get for trying to put somebody in your little wing and you get your feelings hurt. People are going to come at you like that. That's just how it is, man. People are going to look at you different. You can't get mad when success comes in your way. And then you got to step out of your own echo chamber to deal with people. Because when you deal with people are going to listen. They're going to deal with you. You got to be brutally honest with certain people. You just can't come around with the BS all the time. And I think that's part of it when you get out of these echo chambers, these religious sects and things like that. I learned this on this channel. It's almost about 10 years old next month. But this month it's kind of weird because this is the time when I lost my old channel. That's why I'm so fucked up right now, and then try to look at it in limbo and try to see where we're at. But enough of glorified echo chambers. Let's talk about mindless topics. When you talk about the gender politics, the females all day, and saying they're doing this and that, and we already know the 304s are winning. But when it becomes like an everyday religious fest, like you see when we mention glorified echo chambers, no leadership of topics of things to move people forward, you get things like that. But what you notice, you don't get mad. You just get even with it. You just understand that you can come something better with better topics and things like that. See, the whole point of the Sunday Madness versus what I did the Sunday Chills. Sunday Chills was the chill spot Sunday. It was Sunday Chills. I did like 10 of those. But when I did Sunday Madness, I wanted to be different. It was like a free-for-all with various topics. And the whole purpose I did that was to maintain those conversations where they are. Get what I'm saying? Because normally most people just ain't gonna care. And I think that's a good thing. When you have mindless topics, they always talk about the Brittany Renters and things like that. When I listen to these dudes in these spaces, they're so ignorant of how the world is. Like most people don't really care. Most people don't really care. I was focused on doing tag and things like that. Everybody's doing everything else. Shouts out to Nadia. She had a good stream last night. Shouts to everybody that did good last night. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not really mad at what's going on. This is what it is, bro. Like, when you get away from mindless topics, you understand what's going on. I've been focusing on this Ukraine and Russia thing for a while. I'm getting ready for my Wednesday stream. This coming up this week. Even though I got the Embrace of Being Independent Thinker series this week as well, every other Tuesday. And we're going to talk about the topics like this. Get away from mindless topics, which you hear on YouTube. That's going to be my next. That's going to be my segment for Embrace Being a Independent Thinker. But the addition is going to be called Get Away from Mindless Topics. That's what we're going to talk about. But we're talking about it today extensively, but the other part too, get away from topics that doesn't mean anything. What about the productivity of the conversation? You know what I'm saying? But normally most people just wouldn't care. When you deal with mindless topics, individuals, and that's what it wrote and said, conflict creators / stagnation content, like I preached last year, versus evergreen content. That's what you got. Stagnation content rules the day. What you'll say, conflict content creators. I mean, conflict creators, whatever you want to call them. But they're stagnation content people. What they do is they see a conversation is great. They ruin others. You know what I'm saying? Like, I realize I couldn't get mad at the end of the day because that's part of their hustle and their game. So when you get in mode like that, you can have or will. He said, "Can you verify again if you will or not? Will not stream on Thursdays." Well, okay. The Thursday thrills. Okay, I know you're talking about that. Okay, the Thursday thrills. I think that will be. I'm gonna verify. It's for. I made this thing last year or this year. I said I will do it from summer to winter. The new one I'm gonna bring spring is to do Thursday shows. I'm gonna be it's gonna be called something else. It's like a news segment, add topics and things like that. It's gonna real deal. And I'm doing something different. It's gonna probably I think 4:30 Eastern or 5:30 Eastern. I haven't decided yet, but it's gonna be one of those streams. It's gonna be similar to um it's gonna be similar to what Thursday Thrills is, but it'll be like a discuss base. It'll be like something similar. I'm figuring things out with that Thursday, but then I'll cut that off around the summer. So yeah, that's Thursday. I know what she's talking about. Yeah. And it's just like what I'm saying, man. Like sometimes you want various topics. I mean, I might add a screenshot that's important, what it sticks out, a topic that I see a lot in certain spaces, and then I examine my shit. I'll probably put my screenshot and I'll say mine's or theirs and see the difference in numbers. I'm gonna probably look at my shit if I'm live or something. I have to give an example, and then we're gonna pick the screenshots and you see the difference. So look at the chat room, look at theirs. You see the difference, and then you see people's interest in it. And what we're gonna talk about is basic subjects. Some people ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say, but it is what it is. Certain people like that stuff, and you can't get mad. That's the relative of people's mindset, you know. But that's YouTube. That's what it is. If you take that all the way, they'll be over here. Now, I will bring certain things. We talk about actual politics and things like that. I'll probably have to use one of my Wednesday streams to give you an example of my actual content versus their actual content, and you'll see a difference. But if we did both fuckery streams, we already had similar numbers. So it is what it is, but you can't really mad that that's the new Thursday is gonna come through. But everything else will be the same. Um we will okay, spring, summer. Okay. The independent thinking series will end around the summertime. We'll bring that back in the fall, and it's going to continue on to the spring, but we're going to end it in the summer. So summer's going to be very different. I don't know what content it's going to bring, but we'll bring Thursday Thrills back in the summer, because what I'm trying to do is have spaced out of my content and things like that, because it's going to be dead somewhere around July, because I don't know how that month is going to be, but July is going to be July. But I realized something. The new time will be the 13th. So this is going to be time when people get the time up and things like that. Because I kind of dozed off and apologize for my what's going on, Real Deal. Salute. Appreciate you. It is what it is. I think normally people don't see that the new time will make things different. I mean, everything sped up faster, and that's the next Sunday. That's on the 13th. I was telling this to my pops. I say, no, it's not this Sunday. It's next Sunday, because this is where when the threshold gets. I know people everywhere else in the world is probably already got it right now, but us, we're gonna get it. And once we get that, that's the thing we're gonna try to maintain focus on. But one thing I can say is there's a lot of new things coming. There's a lot of new things maintaining, and people ain't got time to worry about a lot of things. But I will say this: the thing that's going on overseas that's affecting people, they're panicking and things like that. I ain't worried. I mean, some people say they're posturing, some people say they ain't. But this is a classic tale what you see today. Some people say Russia may win this war. I doubt it, man. Not with no guerrilla warfare tactics. We know the history of that. And who won the guerrilla warfare tactics? It ain't us. That's why we got a lot of stealth teams and agents around the world. You can't hide nothing nowadays. You can't hide information. People gonna ask questions, what happened? You know what I'm saying? It's public knowledge. You can't hide nothing no more on the internet. I'm sorry, bro. You got people hacking your stuff and things like that. You know, that's part of the culture. So what you got today, what I'm talking about is topics that are mindless, talking about females like 304s all day. That's why these black spaces is not so conducive. And the reason they think this is a hustle. And I saw a lot of streams based off this, and I think people are going to get mad regardless. I think last Sunday we talked something similar to this. This is going to be a problem in the future forward. So they're not trying to build that politically. And I think I was talking about that last year, and nobody wasn't really doing anything. But shouts out to people that came through last year when I had subjects like this, and the one last Sunday. Appreciate y'all, because everybody's on it now, because everybody's distracted with the war stuff that's over Eastern Europe, and that's the whole point. And then when I talk about glorified echo chambers, I think people get upset when I talk about it. I found that in the comment section of Marquise Brownlee's video with that white boy. I forget his name, but it's a show. And I saw a comment when he said glorified echo chambers. He's right on. I should have said that shit like years ago. When you have glorified echo chambers, it becomes religion. I had to look at myself. My channel was a little bit, if you would say, back in the day, in a way, but nowadays I don't think so. But certain topics, like I did probably my earliest years on this channel, it was a little bit quiet as kept. But quiet as kept, I left that shit, and then it became apparent. But I had to leave that shit. But some people look at it as religion. Some people don't really care. You can't get mad what people like. And I noticed this too on live streams. It becomes paramount. So you can't get mad when people like or dislike your comment. And I think that's part of the culture. And I've noticed something, you can't really get mad when individuals don't have to like you as a requirement, right? And I've learned this very on when I started live streaming. When I started live streaming April of last year, it's going to be a year since I've done live streaming content on this platform, which I don't really care for. And I shout out people that I appreciate y'all listening to me day in, day out sometimes, or every other day that I stream. A lot of times I learn a lot every day, even as a host, panelist, content creator, and a moderator. You understand that things are a little different. When you deal with people, you have fallouts and things like that. And it's kind of fun in a way to learn. You be like, wow, all those 2 years, and you learned that from 2 years ago. And I saw something interesting with Mal Manorman. He was asking for tech for CUDA, right? This is a repeat of last year. And I said to myself, I'm not even mad. This is like religion. This is like fucking religion. I'm like, dude, and you know, this, I won't get out of there because this it's the same shit I've seen last year. Because the only difference is last month nobody got jumped last year on the panel and shit. Because last year, February of last year was a year ago. Zero had a notorious stream for his trolling and stuff, and kudos going against MOT and all them guys. That was epic at those days. But I didn't care for it at the time. People's trolling and doing shit like that and fucking with them. And then the next month was crazy. I was a part of that shit, and I had my hand in it. And that shit changed after that. After that, I had to do content. That's when I split off with the Manosphere technically. But at the time, I was using my old talking points from 1.0, and I wasn't studying this 2.0 and all this other shit. I was Brain Trust days when I did 2 years ago. But after that, man, I started changing my content later on, somewhere around August. And after that, it was a big shift. And this year, it's just been rocky. It's a repeat of last year. So I'm trying to fight this bug of the same repeat. It's like religion. You got to fight certain things to talk about and add something new to it. And then, of course, yes, the gear comes with it and things like that. I was trying one today. I had the wrong interface that didn't match my microphone. I was going to sound clean to y'all, but I found one that's going to fit. It's another interface that does it all. So I'm learning that one and add pieces to it. But this one, I might have to get another interface for this one to sound more cleaner, because that one I got, that's good for a condenser or whatever. We'll see. I'll do something later tonight. But that's a whole nother story, And it's just like I've loved the fact that you understand how things work. And I love the fact that I've learned so much from people. And then I said to myself, even offline, people have different perspectives now, because the effects of the C virus and the pandemic done changed a lot of people. It divided a lot of people. I already tell you that here. I saw a stream with Ramil, right? They was talking about Atlanta, right? I disagree with the panelists on the panel. They have no fucking idea what the fuck they talk about when it comes to Georgia. They never lived in Georgia for decades like I have. There's other parts of Georgia live besides the city of Atlanta. They don't know shit about it. You know what's so funny? They don't know shit about it. A lot of those hoes go everywhere. They don't just stay in the city of Atlanta. They go everywhere. You got hoes here in the state do the same thing in the suburbs. They don't even talk about that, and that shows you they don't have no understanding of the state. This state has a $5 tax rate. California has 10. Georgia's got 5. The reason people come to Georgia, they rather have lower taxes, finesse and finagle they W-2s and they 501(c)(3) charters in those churches. And you know what the fuck they do? They get another business and they go overseas to Japan somewhere and be great in other areas. That's what Tyler Perry does. That's why he's not always broke down here. He ain't paying all that much. Eventually, they tried to make it 2%. I said this last year, why Georgia's the way it is. I said it's going to go up. It's going to go up over time, but I doubt it. It wants to be in the stratosphere of up north and the West Coast, because you're competing with things like that with jobs. I don't think people understand. They don't care about this other shit. They care about the tech shit, the combination of a lot of shit. The fashion is kind of like third here, or actually in the city, but outside of that, it ain't much. The Braves is probably the 4th thing people cared about. Falcons is probably like the 6th thing. The Hawks is like number 5, and the Falcons number 6, and that's it. Sports is usually top 10, 5 and 10, because the Braves are more important. After they built that stadium, I watched they built that stadium years ago, and that side of that stadium where it is in Cobb and Smyrna, that was naked over there before. It was in Turner Field downtown in Atlanta, but when they moved it in Cobb County, that's a whole nother stratosphere, and it's not in Fulton. Fulton is Atlanta, things like that. This is in Cobb. So y'all don't know the counties. That shows you how slow these people are. So I'm from Atlanta. No, you're a transplant. Probably ain't lived in that city for like not long, probably 7, 8 years. I can't take you serious. I've been living in this state for decades, boy, and I've seen a lot of changes. There's another guy on YouTube who's been on this state. He's been in the state of Georgia for 30 plus years. So that's a whole nother story. And it is what it is, man. And that's one thing I've noticed about Ramil's panel. Was it the other day? Was it Saturday, I believe it was Saturday. They have no fucking idea what they was talking about. I felt sorry for those individuals. And they just go over there and just say, hey, it is what it is. I just don't understand why people don't understand that people move here and they come and go. Like, yes, you got ethnic people here, and it's just what it is. So what you would say in so many words, I will say that people don't live here very often. You know, the ones that was born a native, they moved out west and somewhere, and they said they always hated Atlanta. I remember hearing this while I was in Tennessee years ago. They used to say that, and I said, "What's wrong with Atlanta?" And then when I got here in '07, at the first I didn't see it the first year, but the second year, I'll say somewhere around the third year, I understand why. But here's the thing, though, it's bad those years when Bush slash Obama years. But one thing I've learned about the city, no, there was opportunity, even though there was no money for no jobs around that time. There were certain jobs you could get back in '07 from 2011. '07 from 2011 was the best years to get a job if you was young, if you knew what you was doing. If you was in the streets or whatever, or not in the streets, there was always money around. Those people was always fucking working. There was no fucking around and things like that. Now, if you was in law enforcement and the military, those were the best years to go, was '07 and 2011. I could have had those chances then. We talk about during the time when the world was in combat, war on terror and shit like that. So this is where the time where the world was changing. You know what I'm saying? But we're in the post-war now because this is 2022. After that, 2012, you know, the height of it, when I had the channel was trying to get height, it was 100 subscribers. Then it got struck down. But once I got my subscribers back again from the second channel, I started off small and then it became later. Then eventually, when I left this shit for like 5 years, my shit went up to 1,000. See, I don't care about the shit long term. I just care about the outcomes, how you put your content out. And there was a lot of viral videos I've did. In those years, even when I was looking for a job at those years, I realized something. From 2012 to 14 was the struggle years. I was in my 20s at the time, and I realized in Atlanta at that time in 2012 and 2014, that was when you try to find a career then, and it makes sense. So after that, 2015, from all those years, and then I finally got a job those 2 years in between those years, like I would say about 2016, and I ended in 2018. Those were good years and learned a lot. Oh, I was outside. I worked every day, worked out and things like that. But I realized something. Everybody was not on this red pill tick. I was red pill to the bone when I got on the job. I wasn't blue pill. I was blue pill probably in, I'll say, middle school years. And I had a red pill mindset. I was messed up when I was younger. Came out of that, came down here, different perspective in '07. But prior to that, I was on that type of time. Left my girlfriend in '09. Didn't work out. So I was just trying to find a career, man, especially here. But when I realized those years when I was working as a barista, I understood people's motives. Everybody was on that type of time. But when I was looking at YouTube back then, I'll say from 2015, my hiatus, everybody was talking about the same shit, but it was different. It was intellectual. When I saw mindless topics became the norm, it actually started 2016 and it ended somewhere around 2020. Because 2015, there was mindless topics, but it was on a small, minute. Just like 2012. I was talking like this. This was popular at the time, but at the time, I wasn't saying nothing popular. The shit I was saying was unpopular. Everybody else was saying something popular would have been like this other stuff, and it wasn't popular. See, the stuff I was saying was unpopular because I went against the grain back then. But if you look at it now, the stuff I was saying that wasn't popular is popular in certain sectors and certain individuals. And I said to myself, see, they didn't want me to say it. But now it's like it's watered down and they don't give a shit. They're like, all right, we don't care. But one thing is unpopular. You can't go against the virus and things like that. That's unpopular. And I noticed that 2020 was a big divide when I saw it when I came back. Content was what it was. But when we talk about mindless topics, we talk about years and years of experience. Even when I was working, those years was crazy. And when I came back, see, I came back in it 3 years ago. That was 2019, watching replays. But once I actually caught a live the next year, Then the pandemic creeped up. That changed everything. I was like a panelist later on, somewhere around late summer, early fall. Then the Brain Trust, I was there religiously. Religiously. You see the dark statue all day. That was me. But after that, I was good. Then I came back again. And this time it was cool. It was a replacement of the Brain Trust. Oh, I was talking my shit then. I was just being me, being raw, thinking I was going to come back doing content. But here's the secret. In 2021 of January, I think Shaka Nulu asked me to comment. He said, "Sir, you doing content again?" I told him, yeah. Yeah, it was on the cell phone. That shit came later. But eventually I started doing the cell phone streams in April. It's going to be a year. And I said to myself, this is going to be good. But I said to myself, people still talk about my own stuff. And I told people that came in my chat for the first time, it exists. My whole purpose of that last year, I was going against it. But the whole purpose was, yes, I was trying to be just with the black pill stuff, with the utilitarian nihilism arguments. I did that on purpose so I can have the channel of a certain group. But in the beginning, I had a different background, talking about various topics. I had a schedule. I couldn't be random. I couldn't say fuck the world and all this other stuff. I wasn't on that. I was on it now. I've always had been on this YouTube shit like that, yeah. But when it came to content, I had to be consistent with it and the schedule to shit. But once the streams became the standard, it started for a while. And man, it was amazing. Progression. But yeah, man, like that's the three things I just want to talk about. No pure leadership, glorify echo chambers, and mindless topics. Glorify echo chambers is a big one because a lot of people glorify them because you got a lot of idols and things like that. But mindless topics is another one. I mean, I've seen those years and years, and it's getting worse every time when you're not talking about the same old shit all the time. So you can switch it up. That's why I switch it up on the political tip. But yeah, let's see. He said tax cuts. Yeah, Ice Cube voice. Okay. Here in LA, tax cuts increased 2%. Atlanta's home value increased 30% year to year. Yeah, it does. It does. That's the only thing I was telling them that, man. That's how it is. And he said Chicago's property. She said, hold on. She said Chicago property tax increases as well. Yeah, that's true, Shaw. That is very true. Yeah, Chicago is that's a whole nother beast. Someone said Chicago's expensive. When I was a barista, I was serving a Chicago customer. He was white, and he said, it's expensive. I said, what do you mean? And he told me about the prices and things like that. I said, yeah. I thought about it. I got some people that's from Chicago on my dad's side of the family, some cousins I've met in the family reunion. But yeah, Chicago's another one. Yeah, LA's another one too. That's with them rich folks. We try to be like these cities, man. It is what it is. But like I said, some people are going to look at it differently. Some people just going to be sporadic. It is what it is. Some people are just going to look at it. And I know people are not going to just pay attention to detail and things like that. And I know people are just going to be annoyed. But one thing I can say about this, when you're doing content that's meaningful, it means something. But when you have topics that are progressive based or solution oriented and political solutions, which I actually go out and vote and actually put my money where my mouth is and put it in on a certain candidate for your interest, voting for your interest, that right there takes you more places than none. But these dudes in these spaces that ain't never registered vote. That's why I can't take these dudes seriously on a political level. And that's why they can't hold that conversation with me for hours and hours. And next thing you know, doing marathon streams talking about mindless shit. You know, the difference with my marathon streams was it was conducive. We switched topics all the damn time. When I watched those shits, man, my old shit, I realized it was epic. But then when I did the ones with other individuals with long live streams with them, they talk about the same old stuff. Until we had different topics, it meant something. Then after that, it just went to shit show. That's my experience from a holder and a panelist point of view. That's my viewpoint. Y'all may not see that, but that's my point. That's my viewpoint. It don't have to be yours. That's how I look at it. And I was looking at that and I slept on it last night while I was going to talk about today. And I said to myself, you know, this is going to be it. This is going to be the time to talk about topics like this. You know what I'm saying? But I understand when people don't like the fact that I point out a lot of shit and expose shit for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a different perspective looking at it. Some people may not. And that's cool. That's them. But me, I'm over here doing my thing. So yeah. Certain individuals want you to argue with them forever and shit. People get off that. To me, that's bullshit. The public won't care. They can troll and do screenshots and laugh about the fuckery that I did and or who did. It's all cool, but it's stupid to me. I seen this shit 2 years ago, and that shit doesn't end well. What happens is people start not liking each other, split off, and then you throw shots at each other. But you got a guy that loves trolling you, but he's a panelist, but don't have content. He has content, but he don't really have content that do various things. You're wasting your content. I've noticed this too. I did the same mistake 2 years ago. I was gonna end up like everybody else. I didn't want that. The reason I came back last year, I was trying to prove that I'm still here. I wasn't dead. I just left this shit alone. Came back at it, try something different. Shit exploded. It's just people just didn't care at the time. Oh, I had some ups and downs, but I got used to it. But now it's like I'm being consistent with it now. So you depends on who you pin on. But shouts out to Nadia. She said she had a Fi-Fi mic, one of the popular Fi-Fi mics I done seen. I think that's a T663. That's a good one. Shouts out to Nadia with that mic that she showed the other night, last night. That's a hell of a mic. And it suits her well. It suits her well. See, those mics like that, Fi-Fi is good. I use one, the dynamic version of the RGB, every Thursday and every Wednesday. That's my workhorse. So yeah, I love this thing. And I got this last year and it kind of helped me out. So yeah, yeah. You had to. At first, I didn't want to do microphone content. They try to call that Manosphere content. Technically, it's not. Manosphere do not like microphones. I'll tell you a secret. Manosphere do not like audio production. Shouts out to Kuda for saying that it's true. And the reason they don't like audio production, that's not a Manosphere thing. Let me repeat that. Microphone content is not a Manosphere thing. And I try to tell this to Kuda last year in the months. It's not about Manosphere. This is a YouTube problem. I was watching one of those tech streams. The guy was doing Yetis and mixers and things like that. He's a white guy with a skinhead, right? He said the average listener, 80% average listener, listen to your content with earbuds, AirPods and earbuds. And the reason being is because I don't think they care about sound and production. The secret thing is they don't care about being an audiophile. Now, audiophile is a term you hear what they're referring to as people. They call us audiophiles. Now, to me, I'm a semi-audiophile. I'm not that big. Some people listen to wherever they listen to in headphones. It don't matter. That's the average listener because you're podcasting, right? But the ones that know sound and hear tweaks and tweaks in their little interfaces or the USBs and things like that, you're an audiophile, but you're not like a historical audiophile. So a true audiophile will notice sound and notice glimpses and coloration of your ears, bad for ears, and things like that. He said microphones is kind of like your ears a little bit. I wouldn't say it's similar, but it ain't the same. It depends on, it's like your ears, but it's also like your eyesight. Because basically the coloration and things like that, everybody's coloration of their voice, it depends on who you are. Some people have a dark voice, they get a sure. And when he said to Angry Man, someone get the bright voice. My voice is a little dark when I'm talking right now. But when I get excited, it's bright. It's bright. It's baritone. My shit's baritone. It's bright. I ain't that deep. I'm deep in other areas. But then I get bright and I get excited and I start laughing. I have a bright, dark voice. So it's a little different. I have that rough voice. But certain mics, I can match those two mics. And I saw that from Mal Miniman. He had the Shure, right? But he stuck with the R320. That's a good mic. And it doesn't have that off rejection thing. I see why he got that, why he's so loud. Makes sense. But he probably done tore up that damn microphone with that smoking he'd be doing with them fucking cigars, them ciggies, them cigs. But that's a whole nother topic. But I was looking at that and I was telling him, yeah, and I told him this one time on a panel, and I think I had a Yeti at the time. I said the same thing. Of course, we don't agree everything on the audio. See, I'm not an audiophile. I'm not extreme. It doesn't matter. The average listener don't give a fuck about audio like that. Let's just keep it 1,000. Most people, when they listen content, they just look at it as a show. Some people just don't give a shit. But if you have some background noise, that's what they hear. But 95% of the time, they're wearing AirPods. The playback is a little different than us live and hearing other shit. They trust that they got those audio ears. No, he's an audiophile. And audiophiles think they're better than everyone. To me, I'm not. When it comes to microphones, no, I'm not. I'm learning about interfaces right now, certain sound colorations of voices and things like that. That's a good thing. But I ain't trying to be better. I try to help somebody else. If they want to get into it and do their content and you add a microphone, it adds clarity to your content. But not only that, you can add music and things like that. It's an instrument of itself. But some people don't want to use that on panels. They rather use the lab mic. They want to not lavalier mic, not that little thing closer to the pen. We're talking about the laptop mic or the little microphones from Apple. You know, it's basic shit, but they don't want the ones that are external mics that have certain buttons, certain cables like XLR. I mean, it's an acronym, why they call it that. Someone broke that down when I was watching on a tech stream. I mean, not tech stream, but a tech pre-record. And then same with the USB mics. I told them that's your best bet. The reason I showed those microphones, my progression, the reason I showed that outside, the reason I showed that is because those microphones can help you do content if you want to talk about various things. You know, it's always good to have a microphone for when you're competing against people that have USBs or whatever. You know, it's cool. It's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem people using microphones on their content. I think that's a good plus. But in these dark spaces and other spaces, they use mics. I've noticed that when they cam up, I was like, oh, damn, they got a microphone here, there, and there, no matter what sexual orientation or color. They all use them. But the average person here in these smaller spaces that's archaic and barbaric, they don't want to deal with that. And the reason they don't deal with that, they let you know they're not serious about their content. They just want to yell and scream and act like a glorify echo chambers with no equipment and things like that. And that equals no pure leadership. And the mindless topics is what kills it to me. Like I said, I can do it without it. I said, oh, that's great. If you can, God bless you. You know what I'm saying? I'll say it like this in the chat. If y'all don't want a microphone, that's cool. Over time. And to me, it's still not bad. It depends on the person. Some people like it like that. But laptop mics are not the best. They are condenser. I think most of them laptop mics are condenser. So it's understandable why people don't use them. They use their cell phone to talk and scream into it. To me, I don't like that. I used to do that with the headphone jacks, going at somebody 2 years ago, last year, and around this time. That shit changed when I started carrying microphones and things like that. And I think that's the problem with people. When I started getting one, it was cool for months and months. Somewhere around that, but somewhere around November, people was pissed when I started buying different ones. That's what they got mad at. And a lot of people don't like that. So it is what it is. You know, some people gonna like them, some people don't. And I try to tell them you can't force a space that is not really tech savvy. I don't say it like this. Most of these people are not tech savvy. Shouts out to Nick Taylor for saying this. I want to say this in the comment section when you show Booth Junkies and Audio Haze. The reason these niggas is not tech savvy, they don't have the effort to do real content. That's the problem. And then they hate themselves, and then they want to hate everybody else in the world, wants to hold their hands and watch the world go by. That's the problem. And I think the problem is they don't want to deal with it. They just don't want to deal with the real truth. That's what it is. He said thoughts on the ATR 4050. Not so much. Not so much, Degenerate. Not so much. It's not a bad microphone, but you can get it. It can be something for your content or whatever. There's a lot of good ones out there. My thoughts on the one I've seen, the PreSonus that has the software, the dynamic one. That's a good one. There's a lot of good ones out here. And then there's another one called Deity, VL7U. That has super cardio, but it also is good with Chrome. I was thinking about that microphone. I said to myself, you know what? If I ever get that, that's it. but the interface I got is terrible. It was a replacement for the Behringer with the silver knobs on it. They said that was out of stock. I was like, God damn it. I got the wrong one. Now I had to get the 202. That's some bitch. You know what I'm saying? But it depends on what converter you get. I have to look which one's compatible microphones that are good with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I might have to get a condenser and things like that. Might have to get the M audio. That's another one I'm gonna get. This one I got is bullshit. I don't know what mic I'm gonna use that on. I gotta hold certain things back. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You can't get mad, but I am gonna get the pod track. It's good on here too. It's versatile. So you do what you do. So yeah, enough of me talking about microphones and things like that. But shouts out to Nadia making that a great attempt. She's learning. It's nothing wrong getting different pairs of microphones for backup because the Yetis, those are classic YouTube. When people started out, they was thinking about pre-records, streaming, podcasting, things like that. But the one I got is a handheld. I'm on my USB right now. I was going to plug it in on the XLR, but my interface wouldn't match it. That's the fucked up thing about it. It wouldn't match it. Ain't that about a bitch? So I was frustrated that night. I knew it was on the porch and everything, but it's a good thing. But you know what I can say in so many words? A lot of people just gonna be who they are, man. Like you can't force people not to like you and things like that. So it is what it is, man. Like I'm not even tripping. Tell you the truth. Not even tripping. And it is what it is. So you see people doing a thing. Everybody's on their thing, but you know. And but speaking of who's live, who is live? But you know, he's probably gonna do a damn marathon. You know, we're gonna stay there for hours. I'm not doing that. So usually I said people don't usually Sunday stream. They did they didn't do last week when this war broke out. That's the weird part. They didn't do that. So that just shows you the inconsistency of the people. They didn't want to do it. Bro, they just didn't want to do it. And I know people just don't care and things like that. So it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. And I think people just gonna be dumb. And you can't get mad at people all the time. So one thing I can say about my collection of coming back, I will talk about that shit on the third. I mean, not the third, but the third part of totalitarianism. That's my last part. I'm gonna reference Putin in this situation and probably the history of totalitarianism. I might get a few links in there. Embrace of being an independent thinker. I'm just gonna speak on how to get away from echo chambers in people. But Thursday, I'm gonna talk about something totally different. So y'all just be ready. I got 3 streams this week. So with that, I'm good. So I'm just busy buying certain audio interfaces so I can get my mic up and things and clean sound. And that's what I've been doing lately. I've been chilling. And that's just it. But yeah, it's been okay, it's 48 minutes. Yeah, I'll drop it in when it gets to the hour mark. So, you know, I'm just gonna talk for a minute. And then if y'all want to come up and chill, that's cool. Cause I got time. But no peer leadership to move people in different directions. I've noticed that in here too. And what I saw over X's, man, they love them white folks. The race game, which is silly. But I get what he's trying to do that to grow his channel. That's a whole nother, you know, I'm not gonna get into that. No race game. And then you got people talking about various topics now. Now they mention Melly Monaco. I've been peeping her since last year. Kuda put me on to her. She tried to be like KS with the dating shows and shit. They call it pineapples. There's a lot of dudes want to date certain females. And you know, it's the pattern I see, the cash apps. Oh, it's bad. And I think I showed y'all the screenshots on the Derelict News Network over the advisors. I said that shit was wild, man. That shit was wild. And she's been all in my feed for lately. Even though if I was subscribed, she's everywhere, man. Her numbers grew. She was 43,000 when I subscribed to her last year. She was 43,000. She wasn't doing this. After that, she just shot up to 100,000 or more. Yeah, she trying to be the next thing. I subscribed to her when she had 43,000. Kuda showed me who she was. She was cool. She had some good advice. But she's too freaky for me. She's just out there. She's out there, man. Yeah, she worse than the Lapeef network. Lapeef is funny. And OJ Speed on there and taking over control of the panel and shit. They scared of OG. Well, you know, it is what it is. Well, one thing I can say about leadership in these spaces, it's a lack of them. Because back then you had leadership, but now the leadership is just terrible. And one thing I can say about there's no pure leadership, you see people, individuals get worshiped as gods, and then when you say something about them, they attack you. They don't last forever, bro. That's the one thing about me is they come and they go. And that's just the thing about glorified echo chambers. They come and they go. Same with mindless topics, they come and they go. See, when I mentioned stagnation content, I'm talking about mindless topics, glorified echo chambers, and no pure leadership of moving forward to help the people in certain things in your community. Evergreen content don't deal with that. It deals with the actual content of who you are and things like that nature. And I think one thing about evergreen content is you understand that it's pure content, pure leadership. No glorified echo chambers, no mindless topics. So what you're doing is you take a topic, you look at it, you analyze it, you research it. Some things you can just do it naturally. Some people do things and take risks. Yes, you go outside to do certain things and build it on. But one thing I can say about evergreen content, it lasts long. Once you leave this shit, like I did for 5 years, that shit grew. It's very evergreen, very evergreen. So one thing I can say about it, it really helped me understand why is it evergreen. Even though Kudu was referencing, other people was referencing on a stream, but I did a stream called Evergreen Content. So I was the first one of last year to broadcast that, to make it evergreen again, so you can grow again, to get your mind right and doing things like that. So even though Villain Sphere is a new thing, that's a evergreen evolution of getting away from the manosphere. Well, evergreen content is pure content, what you do and what you like to do on your interests. And that's what the Brain Trust was for me 2 years ago. We was talking about evergreen shit, how to move shit forward, shake forward. When I was sitting in this chair looking at the window, I was talking to Complex. We was talking about all various topics. That's what I did the last 2 years, 2 years ago. I did that 2 years ago. Where we at now, we ain't there no more. Everybody's divided. After the pandemic stuff and before and after, we was divided back then, but not as bad. But this is super bad. But it gets like that sometimes. You know, people got to do their own thing and they got to run their own pace. And it's not a bad thing. I'm learning that people do and they grow. They grow apart. That's just part of it. People don't last forever. Everybody's getting shit snatched. Snatch season. I call it snatch season. Some people just don't want to be a part of it, man. Like, you know, and that's just how it is, you know. I'm being very careful with my shit now and just looking things forward. But a lot of people just don't care. They don't give a fuck. If they don't give a fuck, they don't give a fuck what you do after the fact of the content. But some people just gonna be who they are, man. You can't get mad about certain individuals. That's just what it is, bro. And that's the thing about not being a glorified echo chamber. I mean, I probably was the first half of my channel in pre-records. Yes, I got out of that shit somewhere around 2013. I'll say 2014 technically. With the first 2 years, it was like that, but then I went against people and shit changed, and I was in the clear. So I did good for the first 3 years. And after that, came back, same shit. I kept consistent with my content was, and I went back to the historical shit. The reason I did that was my actual content as well. I got out of that shit. Talk about that decades ago People want me to bring that back. I ain't trying to bring that back. No, you niggas don't listen. You pick and choose what you want your evidence to be on a website. Shouts out to the brother for that website. Excellent website. Give me great content. That's what it is. But normally, I'm not mad what's current right now. And they talk about this war, man. This is a serious thing. So when you have things like this, people want to complain about the same old stuff all the time. Well, stop listening to people that are doing mindless content and glorify echo chambers. That's what you stop doing. The problem is when you get stuck in it, you don't know when to get out of it. It becomes extremely mindless, and if you're not doing the right thing. And I think that hurts a lot of people. People are so caught up in the circle jerk and the double talking for certain individuals that's doing content in platforms like this. That happens all the time. And I seen that 2 years ago on the tail end, and then 2021, I mean, specifically, if y'all don't know, it is what it is. And it's been a rocky year. You know, this is a rocky year for me, but last year was a good year because when I came back and did content, man, it was legendary. This is kind of like I got to keep my feet up. It's like it's not a sprint, but it's a marathon, right? And I have to treat it as a marathon. It's a long process because next month will be good because I'm not going to be worrying about the bullshit. And I'm going to be talking about various things. I'm trying to get back on the elections in Georgia. I want to research who's running for governor, and I know it's Abrams and somebody. I've been saying it's the longest. I want y'all to know I'm going to be on it. I'm going to be on it probably this Sunday, and we're going to talk about it. Well, the next Sunday, I technically will be. We'll see. I'm gonna do the research and things like that. But most people don't want to deal with the political aspects of it, and that's just what it is. Some people just want to be that type of person. You can't get mad at individuals that don't want to participate in that type of content. So you gotta understand people just have their ways about you. You gotta understand a lot of people ain't gonna like the stuff that you're gonna like. And I've noticed that. I noticed that lately. I noticed that in time. I noticed that in view. It is what it is. But sometimes people just don't really care long term. And what I can say in so many words, some people just gonna be relying on that. So I'm not really upset about that. I mean, I've learned this the hard way. I started out bad. So but once you come back to it, you just get back into the swing of things. But to me, I'm just gonna focus on me for the whole year, even though I'll participate in certain things with the villains and things like that. But from now on, I'm just gonna focus on the content that I have and just be straightforward. Because a lot of people just, I don't mind the fuckery and things like that. Yeah, we can joke and chill and do all that. But the other shit, I'm good. I ain't gonna participate no more. You ain't gonna see me around as much because when the spring comes and when you see it, there's gonna be some days I'm gonna take some weeks off in the spring. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Not the next month, but the next month, I will say the week, and it's Mother's Day week, right? You may not see me do streams on those weeks. I think the first week of May, you may not. Because I think the birthday week is coming around the corner. Because I'll come back doing the next Sunday in the next month. So May is going to be very, very light. Like I did last year. It's going to be a year. It's going to be very, very light. I'm going to do a lot of content in April, but in May, it's going to be light. June, I'll do a lot of content in June. July, I'm taking a whole month off. On the tail end, I'll come back. I'll schedule a stream and I'll tell you I'll come back. And that's it. That way you understand what I'm doing now. Because August, I'll definitely come back with a bang, because it's going to be year round and things like that. And I'm telling you this now because I'm speeding up shit. You're not going to see me doing much, but that's just what it is. People are going to be who they are. And I'm not stopping what I'm going to stop. So again, That's just how I roll in so many words. So yeah. So yeah, it's open discussion. Sunday Madness is a free for all and things like that. I'm just gonna do this. Y'all will be surprised Thursday. I'll talk a little longer by myself. It's just a little heads up for Thursday and probably Tuesday. Wednesday is normal, but Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday, I'm gonna give y'all a heads up. I'll play one of the old videos on embrace of being an independent thinker and things like that. I don't know. I gotta see first. I gotta see which ones I'm gonna play. I might have to play my old one. I have to play my old one. I have to play my old one. So I see the eyes and shit. Yeah, I might have to play my old one. When I first started, it was random. And the other one was like a 1 minute. And go back to the very first one. Everything else is by myself. So yeah, I will go back and play the first one. And this is gonna be a unique stream and things like that. And I'll play that for like in the beginning, and you're gonna see a difference. Yeah, I might have to use my handheld for that one. Explain the differences and things like that. So yeah, I'm gonna be on time on that one. So use my mic arm for Thursday. Actually, Wednesday and Thursday, yeah, my workhorses. But when it comes to Tuesday streams, yeah, I'm gonna use the handheld. I changed my mind on the mic Tuesday since I'm doing handheld. I'm going with my handheld, my favorite, my trusty Samsung. So I'm gonna do that. You're gonna be surprised. I'll say from Sunday and Tuesday handheld, then the studio mic. Just post it up on the arm, across the shoulder from me. So as I was saying, most people love these type of topics, and I think mindless topics is one of them, and people don't really care and things like that. I think the good thing about it is some people love these things and they just want to expound on the BS that I hear all the time. Yeah, I see it a lot. People love them and they're very mindless to me. But one thing I can say, some people love them like religion. You know, this is their daily bread. They just go get up and breathe and sleep and breathe and eat shit when this comes on. You know what I'm saying? And they breathe this shit. One thing I can say about me is I understand it. I understand it last year. And someone trying to say you talk shit and do this and that. I do sometimes. That's what you do on here. You know, you ain't really doing man. This is like what they say, fifth dimension. Yeah, you do. You like the character, yeah. But it doesn't really matter. Like off this shit, I'm a real person, you know. Never question me about not having hands or not. It doesn't mean anything. Y'all ain't gonna test me in real life because y'all ain't gonna talk to me like that. No, it'd be the opposite. But you got individuals think they can get you, but they can't. You know, anybody can be touched. Yeah, we know that. But y'all can be touched too. So it goes both ways. There ain't no one-way street, nigga. Anybody get hurt out here. I've been around. I've seen this shit. It was like that years ago. The difference was if he was in your radius, he would have got you. It wouldn't have mattered. It doesn't matter now. That's why I don't give a fuck why certain niggas worrying about the same nigga for years and years. I'll forget about you in years. That's what you niggas don't understand. Like YouTube, the social things. I mean, a lot of people call it nigga too. Nigga too, it's damn near the same. Majority of YouTube is a bunch of weak motherfuckers that think they can charge you up, right? That shit dies in 5 to 10 years. No one gives a fuck about you. I've been on this shit for like 15 years and they didn't give a fuck about me then, and they don't give a fuck about me now. I've been blacklisted, bro. I've been doing this for a long, long, long damn time. A lot of niggas don't like my ass to this day since the beginning of this channel. So you gotta understand, I've always had a lot of hate. I was the contrarian to people. I don't think people don't understand that who I was when we got blacklisted. Once we got blacklisted, and I think the Hebrew Israelites we was on, and then we call ourselves Yashroelites. Shouts out to Elder Young One. He's a real one. We was on that type of time, man. We was on that type of time to build who we was. We was trying to get away from the Christ teaching. It was debates about that. We was in the Torah. You know what I mean? We was on that type of time. That lasted for at least, I'll say about 2 years. 2013 too. We was on fire then. But then after that, the third year, I was on my historical shit. I was on my historical shit then, but then I increased that the second and third year. And after that, I fell off in 2014. I was like slightly fell off. I fell off a little bit, but after that, I gotten better. I just taught different when I got off this internet shit from 2015, from 2020 in the beginning. Man, it's refreshing. See, I already know what it's like. See, y'all can't speak for me as a person off this shit, on this shit. I'm the same. The difference is I don't broadcast my shit like that. See, that's how you get tagged. Cause you got a lot of agents on here. And I ain't gonna use, a lot of people use the word snitch. Yeah, snitch is common. Everybody snitching now. So what's the point? Calling someone a snitch ain't gonna solve nothing, to be honest with you. I mean, that no snitching shit was cool when I was coming up, but that shit's dead, bro. That shit's dead. I don't want to hear that shit. I mean, it was cool in my 20s. Once I got to be in my 30s, that shit died, bro. Like, everybody's not in that street shit. No, that shit died a long time ago. It was something in the day. I mean, you still got it. It's still out there maintaining, but it died a long time ago. You can't do what you want to do now because everybody's watching you, and you can't hide nowhere. That's why everybody's sold out. That's why the pro-black shit is dead. All that shit is dead, bro. You got to really be about something or not. You can't get mad what people say about you now, especially on the panels and shit, because you don't know who you're talking to. And I learned this 2 years ago when I started getting on panels and shit. First time with Wacky and everything else. I don't pay attention to the chat room. I've been doing that. And then when I noticed something last year, same thing. Never argue with females that I don't know. They're like strangers to me. That's the thing. And I've noticed that the pattern I've been continuing. Now I debated certain niggas and we was all in the group yelling and screaming. That was over at Juan Jesus shit. But shouts out to those brothers over there. But I'm just saying, in so many words, most people don't really care. Like I noticed about the audience, they don't really give a shit. If something happens to you, you're gone. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And especially pre-records ain't the same what it used to be. And that's the whole purpose of not having these things worthwhile. So again, like a lot of times people are gonna be who they are. And I'm not mad what's going on. So again, you really got to look at the big picture of what you're seeing here. So I'm not really surprised when people get upset when people want to leave YouTube and do things like that, and do different things. Have at it. Have at it. A lot of people just don't care. What you do is you learn from your mistakes from a long time ago and you just adapt. Let me tell you something. I adapt every time. I don't like change all the time. I adapt certain things on content. I adapt when I'm ready. I did this, I'll say 2021. See, 2020, I didn't do that. 2021, I learned to adapt to get away from different content. But what I did was I stayed on task what I wanted. Even the fuckery streams I did like a couple. And outside of that, I stayed on topic on the that hand. So again, people are going to come at you like, oh, you didn't do this and that. Who cares? It's the internet. No one cares. About 5 to 10 years from now, no one gives a shit. I'll be gone by then. This shit will be perished. But shouts out the information, man. He was saying that and like niggas act like they care. They don't care about this shit. 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 Some people just gonna be weak, man. It is what it is. Like y'all act like this thing is the end of the world. But shouts out to people, man. Like, y'all gotta understand something. No one cares how I feel about this shit. You gotta put your feelings to the side. Not everybody's gonna like you from the start. And I was trying to tell certain people when it was gonna do content, nobody's gonna like you long term. And I realized that. So I realized something a long time ago. It is what it is, but you cannot underestimate what they're gonna do. People got good topics and things like that. And speaking of hot topics, I saw what the Code Breakers did. Shouts out to them. They were saying Russia was gonna win. I disagree with that. That's bullshit. Russians losing guerrilla warfare as we speak. They can't nuke nobody. Y'all delusional. I don't know where y'all get that information from. That's bullshit. The Grandmaster was talking like that. That's bullshit, Grandmaster. That's a Grandmaster. Over there in the Igmore clan. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like when we talk bad about the Igmore clan. Well, that's our that's their clan. That's their crew. It's no hate on them. It is what it is. Yes, they're content creators. People can disagree. We can disagree all the time. It's just people ain't gonna like us off this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's fair. But I've learned that too. I've learned to separate from people that does content, real content, and the person. It's like in sports. I learned to separate people for who they are. See, content creators, you may like them, but as a person, you can separate. It's like a sport, man. Like I had to treat this as a sport. You have associates that mess with your channel, not the personality. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just don't see it that way. They see it. We're just like, no, you don't have to be my friend or anything. I tell people that all the time. You can be my associate. That's it. But outside of that, we're good. Like it's no personal beef or anything. It ain't no like I don't take this shit serious. I never take this shit serious. I realized this 2 years ago, and I'm glad I met Saru and we had that off-air conversation. He said, you gotta look at these people a certain way, man. And the content I had was conducive to that. There's a lot of people said that. They said this prior to him. I'm gonna tell you a secret. A lot of people when I was on panels with on air with the brain trust and all that, they told me you gotta look at this thing like what it is, man. Some people don't want to compromise. And I have not compromised and went to the monetization route because you don't get no freedom of speech. This shit can cut off and be gone. Say, I got Rumble. I can go anywhere else and adapt and stay this way and get views and not giving a fuck. To be honest with you, I wouldn't. But I don't think YouTube's going to go anywhere because a lot of people like different things. What's saving it is the relationship subject streams. And that's what's saving it. It's big business. No one really cares though, but it's big business. It's a business move. You have to look a certain way. No one really cares, to be honest with you. I don't. But the ones that do care is the younger generation. And it is part of natural selection. You got to do what you got to do. So, yeah, man. Yeah. A lot of people just don't care what I think. And I've noticed too, when you do this YouTube shit, I've been in it for years, man. Like people act like we care, and I don't care either if they don't like me or not. I learned to accept that over the years. So you gotta understand something. That stuff don't bother me long term. People think it does. It really don't. Like you just showing your hand when people say it does bother them, but no, it doesn't. You gotta understand something. People don't really care long term. They'll forget about the shit. I won't forget what's done to me or what I've done to somebody else. Yes, but the majority of people do not care about that shit, and it's always going to maintain its course. And when I look at that shit, that lets me know where people are. They don't really care. They don't really care because I had to learn, especially with live streams. You have to be careful because some people say you got to treat this like a business. You can. Sometimes you don't. And sometimes you treat this as a hobby. You just move on and cut to the side and then go on. Because a lot of people just don't really care for you like that. You have to treat them as associates. You can't take this thing long term. And I've noticed that. And I have to keep it as that such. And that's a fair thing. Some people will love to say they want this closeness and things. That goes on all platforms. I'm not saying that to just YouTube, but that's in general. And I learned this over time. Yeah, I got a Twitter and everything else and Instagram, but I don't give that out freely. But this is about me. What's going on, Absalom Pyongyang? What's going on, man? Salute, salute. I know this over time, over the years on the internet, it gets like that. So I have to be careful who I associate with and try to be friends with on here because it becomes conducive. But it's a good thing, you know. If you associate gets good people, you can do business one day. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying you guys in the chat, it's okay to who you do business with. I ain't got a problem with that person. We good. We good. If I'm neutral with the person, I'm neutral. But you got certain individuals trying to ruin that last year and this year, trying to ruin my chances to collab with certain people. But to me, YouTube collabs have played out. Nobody cares. Everybody's got their own problems and shit like that. Like I stopped caring a long time ago. I actually stopped caring in 2012 when they stabbed me in the back. When that sting off happened, I'll say 10 years ago, around this month. And ever since then, I've been on the sheer tear for those 3 years. I was tired. But then I realized something. You can't get mad what happened to you. I had to move forward, and it took me a while. It took me to heal. After that, I was actually done with YouTube. So I got burned out of that. But this one, I ain't gonna get burned out because I already know my end game on this shit. I can leave it, stream every Sunday, and not come back again. Because it's so easy to do, bro. Like YouTube is just light years. I can do Sunday and Wednesdays. That's it. Ain't gonna do no Thursday streams no more because I'll end some of that in the future. I'm not ending it right now. I'm not ending it the next year either, but probably the next year after when it's election 2024, I'm gonna end that shit because I done had enough for the bullshit. Probably do Thursday mornings and just kill the stream and then move on. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably do those. That's the only Thursdays you're gonna get out of me. It'll be early in the morning, and then I'll kill the stream, and then that's it. Everything else is just gonna be vlog streams. You'll see that, but outside of that, I'm good, bro. I don't really give a shit because it's gonna be streams. It's gonna be random. Uh, you'll see that Monday and Tuesday. It's gonna be random. I'll write something down when it comes to topics. It's gonna be random. You know what I'm saying? But Sunday streams like these, oh, it's all day. I can do these. This is nothing. I can leave and schedule it out every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Sunday. So, yeah, you'd be surprised. It's gonna get to a point I really don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all gotta understand that I stream every Sunday, and that's gonna come probably 2024. And after that, I'm done with this shit because I already know what my future is on YouTube. That's how I look at it. And I told this to Nadia. Like I like certain content creators. I got certain subscriptions. I'm subscribed to damn near almost like not to everybody, but you know, I've cut someone off recently in months. So I have a lot of couple of subscriptions in here. So I'm trying new things and be things like that, and that matters. And it is what it is. So you can't get mad what's going on. A lot of people ain't gonna like you long term. And that's just what it is. So once again, once again, once again, it's just gonna be one of those days, man. A lot of people just ain't gonna just cut it, you know, cut the floor and things like that. But you know, but this is gonna be one of those interesting Sunday streams, and people ain't gonna make it apparent. I know people's talking about the woman and things like that. That's common topics these days. But one thing I can say for sure, um, not only is a thing, it becomes crazy, you know, because you know I'm subscribed to certain things, but you know, people are gonna be people long term, and I know people ain't gonna watch you religiously like that, and you got to respect that. And I've learned to respect this a long time ago. I know people's at their respective places, And it gets like that. It gets like that. HBICRS. All right, what's going on? What's going on? Salute, salute. But it gets like that, man. Like, you can't really get mad what's going on because I was talking about the mindless topics, glorified echo chambers, that's GEC, or no peer leadership. But it's crazy, man. And that's just wild, man. And I'm just like, man, it is what it is, man. So some people gotta understand, like when I did this particular series, yes, I had one fuckery last year and it was on point. And I did that on purpose. Oh, I got numbers. It did some numbers. And I said to myself, I did something, I can do that. Petty mode. But I don't know if I want to do that again. But I was thinking about that. I said, nah, that was, the way the new restrictions on YouTube, you can't have that shit. They try to take your ass to Clubhouse. Clubhouse ain't gonna work for me. And I think Triple Black said something. He said, Clubhouse ain't gonna work. He said, you gotta wait your turn to talk. And I thought that was crazy. But then in a way, that's understandable. It sounds like Zoom almost. That's how he looks at it. I said, damn. But that's what you get. A lot of people have certain things to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But relationship topics, gender politics and things like that. I'm not a big fan, but I understand it. I've heard this stuff years ago. It's different now because people try to say, oh, you can't get this woman and all that. She has to be this dress size and all that. I said, man, when I first heard that, I would say probably like 2 years ago, right? That shit was wild to me, right? Came back in 2019 watching replays. They was talking about something totally different. But around the next year, they was talking like this. That's not the norm. But see, the pandemic was around. People that had nothing to do. They were isolated. They was home, stuck. They was preparing us for war. But what you got now, you got war now. Something like World War II again. Repeat of history. When you have diseases break out, it turns into what? War. They said, take out them damn masks and fight. That's some crazy shit, right? And now we're looking at this is like, I see where the pattern's going. Okay. Because the election year will be, the presidential election year is like 2 years away, right? Not the next year, but the next year after. It's going to be very different what I'm going to do 2 years later. It's not going to be the same. I'll tell you that right now. It's not going to be the same because you're going to have different people moving different time spans. Next thing you know, the shit will be gone after those years is gone. So those years is gone. So everybody's actually they'll be in their 40s at this time. They wouldn't care. I wouldn't even care. And it's a whole nother ball game. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care about this shit long term, to be honest with you. Because YouTube is what it is. It's one of those topics that you got to get into and things in that area, just produce your content and things like that. And I said to myself, in my 30s, man, I've learned a lot to progress and it helps. And I think one thing I learned in my 30s, I've realized there's some opportunity there and things like that nature. And you just got to take advantage of. Some people just want to be rich at this point, which is cool. But there's a lot of opportunities off this shit too. You just got to make your lane and then just get in it. Yeah, I watch every content creator there is, even the black sectors, the other sectors and things like that. My channel's been around a long time. It's like a relic. And I dealt with some big names. Then I dealt with some that were small names as recognized, the other big names, chat rooms and comment sections and things like that. I was been blocked by Sinetta years ago. He was a semi-big name who was going after the conscious community. That was a rough period. Those years when the Israelites and them, we was fighting those things on the street, online and offline, on the barbershop, on that tip. And the good thing about it was that was fun. But now it's like the bullshit with the live streaming is niggas want to say and they act like they got a platform and they really don't. They're just adding to the platform. Let me tell you something. When you're a panelist, and I've noticed this 2 years ago, and this is stuck in my mind this year. Yes, you're a panelist, but you're adding to the content, which is not bad. I don't mean you're not a part of it, but it ain't yours. You know, you're just assisting me to add more onto my content. No hate to the panelists because I was one and I thought like that it was mine, but in reality it wasn't. I had to get my own shit. That's what people kept telling me and things like that 2 years ago a little bit, but at the time I wasn't ready. I was self-reflecting, but some of them didn't really care. I add to their content, but after that I left and shit grew, and you made a lot of acquaintances through chat rooms, panels, should I say pre-records, shit that you've done, if you've been on their little shit in the comment section or other platforms. They come to your shit in months' time. See, April, it was smaller than this, around this size right now. But prior to it, it was always this size. But until I got the numbers later on, when I start doing upgrading on my audio and things like that, that's a whole nother story. I took advantage of it. I took the initiative to go that route. And it was time. I should have did that in the summer. See, the summer was dead. I was talking about zodiacs and shit. I was talking about who was this sign, that, and astrology and shit like that. I was into that. And I said to myself, and I look at that content, I said, man, that shit was dead. I ain't doing that again. That was just an experiment of a stream. Those are my experimental streams. If you watch my old shit, that was my experimental times. So I wasn't really doing 5 to 12 to 13-hour streams. I wasn't doing that. So I could have did that 2 years ago. I would have got some numbers. People got tired of the gender shit. But shouts out to Kuda. I learned about his platform. His old streams, how he let people talk. It was like therapy sessions and shit. And I said to myself, I ain't gonna be one of those channels. I thought about it and I said to myself, yeah. And then I look back at my old content, what I got now, and this year, I ain't gonna be that. That's gonna be every now and then with certain occasions, you know. But when I did that shit, it was cool. On the tail end in 2021. But then I said to myself, why it didn't became a huge echo chamber. It was an echo chamber for the panelists. With me, it wasn't. I was testing the waters, but now I've learned I can do this 3 to 4 hours and just end it. Talking to y'all, read y'all's comments and things like that. I can do that. That's easy. Some people do 6 hours just roasting. You know, that's talent. Change different jokes. But shouts out to the people that do that. That's talent. There's a lot of talent you can do by yourself. A lot of people that do that, they have the experience to go higher things. That's common on YouTube. Let me tell you something, a secret about that. Before they had live streams, if you did that back in the day, that was unsung. But here's the thing, though. It wasn't popular. You did it in small fragments. You had to do a part 2. Then eventually, you had minutes on your phone to get your information. You can go over. Then after that, there's an hour. See? That's what it was. Live stream just made it easy. You can do. Easy. And people listen to you. Some people are like that. They listen to you in the car for hours and hours. And if you do a stream for let's say if you want to go 8 hours, then the next hour you'll go 4. That adds up. So you got 8 plus 4, right? So you got 8 plus 4 in the building, right? Let's calculate that. 8 plus 4, right? That's 12 hours. It's 12 hours. Amazing, right? Let's add 6 hours each. That's 12, right? You can have 8 hours on one end, 4 hours on the end. That's 12, right? Yeah. 6 for 6, 8 to 4, 12 hours each. And it is what it is. But if you go, let's say you do 5 hours, 3 hours. That's 8 hours. One stream you did 5 hours, the other hours you did 3 hours. That's 8 hours. That's a long time. And people are going to look at that and be like, oh my God, that's a lot of hours you done put in. Well, you put a lot of topics in paper to move around the topics, and you just move around and it's not become mindless again, right? But the thing about me is I'm just looking at it like this. You put those hours in, that's it. But marathon streams, I will not do. Again, I had some great experience. They were productive. And once they become marathon-y, like the 8 hours to 12 hours, those are marathon streams. Those marathons become fun for a while, but then it becomes atrocious. I can't have all that. That really fucked me up and realized you can't have that long term. So everybody's not gonna listen to you right away. So those long streams, man, they trust that that's how you get your numbers. Technically, that's not true. I did that to get my what you call it, the video views up. And the playbacks is what matters to me. You know, that's the thing. But once you learn that everybody's different, they're gonna listen to you a certain way. So you have those moments in live streams and you're going to start talking to certain individuals. So when people look at certain things, they're going to look at you different. That's the thing. So I understand people going to look at different things all the time, especially if people have, see, mine's are small right now, but imagine if I had like 20 to 15 the other Sunday. That was because people didn't have nothing to do. It happens, man. I'm glad everybody's streaming Sunday. I'm glad everybody's streaming Sunday because it's Sunday Madness and things like that. You know, people come around. Depends on how long we're gonna do this. This may not be long. Um, we'll see how long this will go because you know this will be a stretch because 2 hours is about to approach, and then after that, you know, we'll see what we do from there because 5 o'clock is approaching. You know, because this is 4 something right now. I'm just talking to y'all real quick. And you know wait on posts because Information Man is about to go live in the next 2 hours and you'll see that some people just going to come through, but I've learned over time it is what it is. So yeah, I'll read this comment. Hold on. He said, I respect people who can live stream 10 hours and I just can't do it. I'm thinking how much of a difference it really make. Absalon, not really. I could tell you from experience, I did 10-hour live streams before. I did two of those. Twice. I did 11 hours and I did two of those. I'll tell you a secret. I did an after stream with 10 hours. Then I did 10-hour live streams on the Thursday Thrills #5. Did a couple of those, I believe. And then I did another one. Yeah, I think it was two. I'll tell you my experience. My experience of doing those, it's like 5 hours each. The first 5 hours, we was talking about real shit. The other 5 hours is a little argument, and we show statistics and things like that, right? The after stream I did with Sheila, that was the first 5 hours. It was after her morning show, and I did it around the afternoon. It just kept on going. Then the other hour, it lasted 10 hours, and I kind of stopped. In between, and that was it. And the same with around the nighttime all the way to the morning time. It was 10 hours. I was beasting when I did those hours. Those hours it really don't make a difference. It's like extra 5 hours each. One thing I didn't care for, people was trying to look for cover at the time. Try to get their shit off the ground. So it was understandable. But at that time, it is what it is. Some people just don't really give a shit. They just treat you what you is. But when you get into that level in that mode, you understand that 5 hours, the other 5 hours is totally different than what you're used to. See, if you do 5-hour live streams each, you already know where you're headed. But if you do another 5 hours, add that up, that's 10 hours each. Imagine that. You could do that separate. But if you did 10 hours total, that's like, yeah. And you add another 10 hours, that's 20 hours you done did in a whole week. So yeah, 10-hour live streams is totally different. Yeah. And who's this guy? Hostile Flex. Why you guys in the Villain Spirit flagging these Mansfield channels down? Who said this shit? Let's see here. Hold on for a minute. Hold on. Put that in my stream. Who put that here? Yeah, I'm gonna get you out of here. Fuck out of here. Ain't nobody flagging no channels down. And that's cap. Get out of here with that. Yeah, who sent you? Get the fuck out of here. He said, "Why are you guys flagging channels down? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here." Yeah, they do. They do that shit. That's what it is. Ain't nobody flag nobody over here. God damn. Who's spreading lies like that? Want to know why? Who's spreading lies? The fuck out of here. He said, "Why y'all doing this? Ain't nobody flagging nobody down. I ain't never did that. Who did that? See, here's the question. Why my channel? Why my channel? Out of all places, but see, I get the most hate. Even though all villains get the most hate equally. Shouts out to Villainsphere Brothers, but I mean the villains, excuse me, the villains. We do our thing, right? But why my channel? Oh, they know I stream every Sunday. Oh, okay. Okay. That was a troll trying to, yeah, that was yeah, somebody sent that out. They was sent. He called himself Hostile Flex. Well, take your hostile ass, go on somewhere and sit down. He said, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You're evil. You're diabolical. Y'all need to stop and be quiet. We love the minnow beer. We love minnows." They better stop and go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere with that shit. Ain't nobody flagging no channels. Like, who said that lie? See, that's somebody trolling. They want to hate on a nigga. They like say, "Man, you better stop, man. You better stop, man. Stop talking about us, man. We love our minnow beer. We love being tails." And that's what they want to be. But you know what's so funny though? That's exactly what they are. They're a bunch of incels in the manosphere. That's what they are. The modern day manosphere, well, I like call them niggas and white, no matter what color, they're all the same to me. Y'all a bunch of incels. Talking about the same bullshit. And y'all can't hide from the government anyway. Y'all lost. He realized and took y'all shine, and you over here cheerleading and saying, "You are despicable. You're despicable." And getting mad and shit. I already know what time it is. I already know what time it is. And they didn't want to get mad at me for some shit that I ain't did. Fuck out of here. They saw this channel on the algorithm. The ones who's listening in the chat, don't mind that fucking troll. He's an idiot. He's trying to disrupt the conversation while I'm trying to talk about mindless topics, glorify echo chambers, and no peer leadership. That's the subject. It's 3 topics into one. This is Sunday Madness. Like I said, it's a free for all. Y'all can say what the fuck y'all want. If y'all want to hit the link, that's fine. I dropped it since an hour ago. If y'all want to come up, if not, that's cool. I always open my panels up Sundays for now on. I usually do Thursdays, but for now on, the rest of my streams for this week, I'm not doing that no more. I'm gonna cut my ties off that because there was certain situations that happened last week. But if anybody's watching this on the playback, y'all already know what I'm doing this week. That includes the people and the villains and all the way down to the actual spaces. And if someone asks for a link, I'll give them a link in the chat. I'm not going to hide behind anything, and that's cool. We can do that too. But I'm going to be mindful of people who I have on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to allow everybody else ambushing and doing shit like that. But yeah, but I will do open discussions, like an open chat or panels. That will be every Sunday. The reason being, y'all can hop on or whatever. But when it comes to like the every other Tuesdays and Wednesdays and now Thursdays, and the new Thursdays, it's gonna be like that from now on because I feel like you can add your topics and write them down, and that's it. Yeah. He said Phony Man was begging Fresh and Fit to be on their show. Oh, interesting. Okay. 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 Flimsy and Flamsy. Yeah, I don't pay them no mind, but shouts out to you, John Clark. But yeah, anyways, but you'll see that very often. Most people ask me, do I do open chats or open panels and stuff? Well, every Sunday now. It usually be every other Monday. I gave it to the advisor. It's every other Tuesday now. Usually be Thursday thrills. And then I realized I looked at my old Thursday thrills and my current ones. I don't want to do that again. They can ask for the link. I'll probably go over 1 or 2 hours and read the comment section. And that's it. Because that's just what it is. You know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's
What's
going
going
on,
on?
bro? Hey, hanging in
Good,
there,
good,
man.
good.
Yeah, man. Happy Sunday to you, man.
Same to you, man.
Yeah, just chiming in and just wanted to show some love because you always support the channel. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta come chop it up with Sir O and show him some love, man. Love what you're doing. I love how you always you're giving so much information out there. That's what I get when I come by your channel. It's very informative. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So like you said earlier, never mind what the haters do because you're actually doing the work. You know what I'm saying? And I can honestly say every time I come over here, I really do learn something from you. Like you be giving good information. So I appreciate that, bro.
Not a problem, man. The last time you was up here, I think last year we was talking about the Sapio stuff, and I still got that stream up. I don't even talk about that no more. That
Okay,
came from
okay,
Brain
because
Trust.
I
Yeah,
lost
yeah.
most of that footage. You mind if I go back and like maybe upload some of that content?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. Yeah, because I lost some of that. So yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah. I still got it up, on my end. So you can watch it on the I think I did a playlist on that. I had 3 of them. Did 3 parts of that. And one guy in the chat room called me a pimp. I said, "What the fuck?" That's some funny shit too. They was trolling then, but around this Sunday, this is kind of interesting. But that's the first time you come on this type of setting right here. So yeah, I'm just talking about various topics, what I've seen, observed. Yeah, that's how my channel was in the beginning. But when I was going against the people in the conscious community, I had to be different. And it is very informative. But I do talk about current events and politics a little bit around in my area where I come from and things like that, and then around the world as well. So when you get that type of audience over time and then you leave and then come back, yeah. And these spaces, they don't really talk about much, but traveling, but they don't understand the histories of travel as well. Other brothers
Mhm.
got different stories, things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Like how you brothers are building, and you said I think y'all say that Dre is in Japan or something, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He's been
like that
there
stuff is
for
major, man. Like we don't,
yeah.
I mean, it's you hear it, but it's rare, and it's not like they're not pushing it, cause somewhat like not to stir nothing up on your channel, but somewhat like how they had that little situation a while ago where Rael was defending, somebody like a Alonzo Hall's channel who's, what I'm saying, doing the work.
Yeah.
It's like somebody like a Dre. I'm like, yo, this dude is intelligent, you know what I'm saying? Real dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I would expect most people to be like, yo, he's out there. If y'all really about what y'all say y'all are, and y'all really trying to network and y'all want brothers to get into this and that, why y'all not pushing certain of these content creators? But that's another story. I
Oh
guess
yeah,
it's
that's a whole
obvious
nother
at this
story.
point. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
obvious at that
Yeah.
point. So yeah, no need to
And I
go
think
there.
when he does the Monday streams, that was a
Hmm.
thing, and I gave it to him because I was doing the embrace of being a independent thinker was based off getting away from manosphere talking points. That was the whole purpose of that series. The first 2 streams of that last year in the summertime, it was random. It was based off that getting away from the red pill talking points and things like that, because they're actually practicing real red pill things. Then I said to myself, I want to make a series out of it. It was every other Monday and things like that. And then it actually worked. It actually helped certain people. People came through. He was on one of my panels in those series as well. But this one is kind of like I'm by myself. I'm showing old stuff how it started out. This coming up Tuesday, and then I'm gonna make it standard. Like you can be a one man show on that Tuesday, and that's it. But after that, but if they ask for the link and have a conversation, I'll drop the link and that's it. You know, I rather them to ask it and then just me dropping it. You know, because Sunday y'all can come up anytime, but here it's like I found a direction what I want. But yeah, he's been living in Japan for decade, man. Like he talked about
That's
his
crazy.
experience
That's
and
amazing.
things like that. He's the only one that I know that can show you that. It's a handful of dudes that has been over there, even Cerulli and everybody else. So
Mm-hmm.
the reason you don't hear them being pushed, a lot of dudes ain't went nowhere. They ain't went nowhere and actually traveled and studied countries. They just want to go out there and freak off and act crazy. And I think Kuda said something totally different like that. It's true, but the thing is, a lot of people ain't been nowhere. So
Mm-hmm.
learning from these guys, it actually helps. It helps us long term. And if you want to do this, he said, just travel responsibly. He said over at Juan G's a lot. So they talk about that a lot. He's been on my stuff for like quite a while, since August. And if you look at those live streams, like you said, the 10 hours, man, it's nothing. It's like 5 hours each. You just got to do some time, move around a little bit. And if you sit in the chair so long, but you got to have some paper to keep up what you said in the conversation, because sometimes it gets derailed, but we bring it right back to what it was. You watch those old streams and we try to keep it what we reference.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing about streams like these, because once you do these long term, it becomes what it is, man. And it's just like you can't really get mad at certain individuals. And the reason mine's not being pushed is based off the reputation of YouTube and things like that. But yeah, there's certain people pushing my stuff. Don't get me wrong. People watching it and they come back on the replay. I get subscribers every now and then. People come through. But if they see me in the chat and if I share these stuff that I like, it's gonna come through. Even yours and everything else. Y'all got some good content too. Y'all talk about various things. You know, I've listened and peep in. I just don't do the gender war and the relationship topics because it's so redundant. I've seen that
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's ever changing, because 1 minute they're this,
Uh-huh.
you have to walk a certain way, but women today are fighting back on certain issues, but they're trying to be more conducive now. It's not like they're attacking us, but I understand what their transition. See, the men ain't caught up yet. That's the problem. It's these dudes wanting the punani all the time. And that's what it seems like to me in these echo chambers. And I'm like, I understand why. And I can't get mad. That's like a religion, man. It's like a religion.
Yeah, it is, right? It is. So what's your thoughts on, like, because I've heard some people say, like, as far as like black YouTube, they would say like a dude said something like 80% of the content from like black YouTube is mainly based around relationships and stuff. So I'm like, even though it's so redundant, how is it still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, how does it be able to still stand on his legs?
Well, when it's like that, like I said about the mindless topics, that's one of them. 80% of it is mindless topics. And the other percentage, if you drop that to like other percentage, like 15 to 20 is glorified echo chambers. And then when you drop that to 10 to 5, it's no pure leadership. And the reason you don't have no leadership, the structure of these topics, and it's not pure, everybody's gonna flock to mindless topics. That's what it boils down to. You stay in the circle jerk double talking relationships. Next thing you know, it's against the men all day. But we understand it goes to women too. So both sides is not getting nothing done. So as a black collective, as a group, we're not really doing much to help people out in the world that is struggling. You got to look at it as right optics and things like that. And the children are struggling too. So when they listen to us, when they get older, say like 18 to 24, the reason I show those analytics for the Real Deal Financial, I try to tell them back in my times on YouTube, that's what it was back then. And it's a certain crowd that listened. It was an older crowd listening. It was more mature listening to me. And I was young back then, talking in my 20s. And then I was out on the street and seeing things for what they are. But then when you bring it on YouTube, it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game, because you couldn't say a lot of wild stuff like that. I mean, you did and got away with it, but now everybody's on the microscope right now. But see, the stuff I was saying back then wasn't popular, you know, with the historical stuff and things like that. That's changed now.
I mean, I love it though. I still watch some of that stuff now, and it pops up since, you know, once you watch one, it pop up on your stream and stuff, you know, your feed. not to cut you off, but I'm like watching your stuff with the Moors you did back then. I'm like, man, it's like I was gonna ask you that too. Do you think, because it feels like to me a lot of the people that really have migrated into these spaces are the same people. Am I wrong? Like from the conscious
Yeah,
community, it's
yeah, the
like pretty
conscious
much.
community. Yeah. Mhm. You're absolutely right, and I think Sarun said the same thing. Yes, it all stemmed from, if you was around, I'll say from '07 and 2012. When I came on YouTube in '07 at 19, when I had my old channel, it was like that. And then over the
Mm,
years, I transitioned in 2011. But 2012 was the height of it. This is where you see more people coming in. And then after that, everybody was coming in. See, the red pill spaces got bigger then too. It was one, then it split. So around 2015 and on down, and a lot of them come in these spaces now. They came from old places, from the Side Netter days and the days of battling them in the comment sections, blog talk days. Well, I can even tell you, that's the type of world we was in. That was the past, and it is what it was, and that was it. And then the government was very strict back then, but now it's like it's more loose. They don't really care. So as what I was saying, the black people stuff and the historical stuff, I was doing that for years, and it wasn't popular. Now it's popular because people's learning now. And since the
mm,
pandemic changed that, the relationships is the money maker now. So they use it as profit, but really it ends up becoming mindless topics. End of the day, some people got to learn it, because I was saying that stuff wasn't popular. Now it's popular because they wait till 5 to 10 years later to listen to me, and that's usually the way it is. And to me, it's not a bad thing. That's an example how evergreen your content is. Now, if it's not
mm.
evergreen like mine, it's a problem, because a lot of these mindless topics have a place. And people love them shits. Like I told you, like stagnation content is real, because you can't ignore conflict creators, like Ronan would say. Yeah, they conflict creators, but they also stagnation content creators, because they don't really care about the audience like that. They just want a quick view, a lot of views of people in the box. And then they actually, they have an echo chamber, but the echo chamber turns to mindless topics. You're gone. It's like a religion. You cannot shake that for the average listener. And just like with the microphone stuff, I told Kuda, everybody's not listening in those headphones like we're listening to and learn about proper audio, because there's a problem with that. Everybody, if you look at whole YouTube, that's 95% of YouTube. And I've noticed that on these feeds, like when I look at certain interested, when people talk about it, that's true. But the average listener's in their car.
Yeah.
They in their car and they train and stuff and playing. They're not listening to that. They care about what you say on your topic, damn near. But that's how YouTube is based. But now it depends on what is the hot topic and trends. See, trends, I'm not a trends person, but trends do sell certain spaces. See, KS, when he got big and he understood that was the thing last year, 2 years ago, he wasn't doing that. But last year, oh, he blew. That's a whole nother whole spiel. But you gotta look at how it went down. That's the whole purpose of KS being who he is. So again, like you're correct, because a lot of people are not being pushed to be in proper positions and being proper evergreen content creators. So you're not going to see that until 5 to 10 years down the road. I'll say 3 to 5 years is the best evergreen content you'll see, how long you'll last. And especially
wow, okay.
10 years, and people respect you over time. See, my stuff's been around for a while, so people's just now listen to my stuff and then looking at the situation over there. I said, damn, it's kind of put things together. Even on live streams takes time. The views go up regardless on the replays. I don't worry
It seems
about
like it takes a lot of time.
it takes a lot of time. It's gonna be the new pre-record future. See, pre-records now, it's a lot harder than it was back then. It was easy back then, but now it's hard, because people don't really have time to look at a 15-minute and 35. They ain't got time unless it's good information. The pictures and stuff. They like pictures and shit. I've noticed that too. They love pictures.
And video, right? Like footage, video, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Visualization is key. Yeah.
Yeah. What did Travis say? That is facts, Travis. It does. It does. And I've noticed that when I did it every Wednesday, I had to cut back on it because it was good content. Don't get me wrong, but the views still go up regardless. But he's absolutely correct. That's what hurts a lot of people. I'm saying. But they don't get the meat until like 5 to 10 years to understand what I was really talking about. Oh, you said it? Yeah.
You right. they stumble back across it and they like, oh snap, or they read something and they just come across that. Because that's what happened to me actually. I was actually on a panel talking about it, and then I was doing some research, and then I was scrolling on YouTube and your video popped up. I'm like, look at this. I'm like, this is amazing. And you were showing all the coats of arms and stuff like that. And it's funny because I got a
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
those pictures in my laptop that I was using like for images that I was working on, like just freestyling with my heat press machine and stuff like that at the time.
oh yeah,
Yes, I was just coming up with different stuff and seeing
yeah.
how I could, yeah.
I had a
Oh,
lot of
cool.
pictures of that on my other laptop right here in front of me, and I got some of those heads somewhere else on other platforms. And then the one I got, it's in my StreamYards, the one you see in the chat room and on the video. That goes back to they try to say that's based off Saint Maurice and things like that, but
Yeah.
that came from that website. That came from that realhistory.com website. That website done dear to me and my content for years. But shouts to the brother that actually do research and show you those sculptures like that. And I got all half of those pictures. When I saw that picture, I said, let me add this as my avatar. At first, it was a scroll, Hebrew scroll, and
Mm-hmm.
then that changed to that. That was a process of my channel, because I did that and say, hey, this is going to be the new wave of the avatar. So I've used that for a minute. So I hardly ever show my face. I did it in my pre-record days. I did vlog streams is what I show my face even more, because it's a lot better to talk to y'all instead of doing this on panels and stuff, because it's easy because everybody knows what I sound like and what I look like. So get your idea who I am. So, and I had to change my content based off what I was doing. So yeah, those pictures is awesome. A lot of people don't understand that I was on that type of time back then. So yeah, he said the info Sir O shares for free has a price tag on. So I really listen to what bro shares. Yeah, 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 it does.
Yeah.
A
Shout out
lot.
to Travis, man. I agree, man. For
Yeah,
real.
yeah, because some people don't understand it's paramount, man. People listen and they come and go. And the thing about it is you don't have to listen to it. I mean, there's other content I made was various topics. I mean, the streams is just what my personal thoughts are about the whole black sector. That's what my shit's about. It ain't like specific manosphere or anything. No, this is overall YouTube. Because that's actually what I'm doing. See, the microphones is a YouTube thing. That's not a manosphere thing. Most manospheres don't not like microphones. Notice that 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They do not like that. And I've noticed that what Kuda was saying. And the reason being, most of your people that watch the manosphere and things like that, or the modern day manosphere watch I don't mess with, they deal with modern YouTube. They're actually modern YouTube listeners, quiet as kept, just in black skin. And the reason I say that, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, because that lets me know they ain't trying to get their stuff up. That's just what the average listener is. And I try to tell him that you got to do your own thing, go somewhere else besides YouTube to be better in the podcasting thing. You have that presence. It's cool to
Mm-hmm.
do it on here, but you ain't got no freedom of speech to speak on. And I think I was trying to get him to be a podcaster. He's got the talent. I told him this third shift last year on panels and stuff, and I told him, man, you got a talent
Yeah, he
and
does.
background and everything. He should embrace it and stay away from the fuckery shit. That's what's holding him back. So I
Mm-hmm.
already know he's stagnated on that, but his content speaks for itself. He should just stick to that and just not worry about the other bullshit. Like if I was him, I would get away from him. He's trying, yeah, he's moving in a different direction, but I don't think it's never too late. But if he transitioned well, he'd be good. But I ain't gonna save him. And I tell people this all the time. I can't save dudes like that. I just let them be. And I get away from that shit and do my thing because I'm not going to end up like that. I learned a lot from his old content, what he was about on those streams, caught up to speed. And I think Drake got up to speed about the Black Order, him and Cerulean. And then I understand, oh, I see now. I see now how people move. Okay. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I got you. That's good game right there. Yeah, you learn, take a little bit from everybody and learn. That's what I'm trying to do at the same time. But I'm like at the same time, I know me, so what I mean. I'm like, I like to have
Right.
fun. I
Yeah.
like to laugh. I like to, cut the jokes and shoot the shit sometimes. So that's why I have that going on when some people come over there. They'd be like, "Oh, it's drama," but I'm like, everybody else is doing it. You know what I mean? This is not. It's just not YouTube. It's the world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? Like people gotta
Mhm.
take heed to that. Like when you start to put yourself out there, you know what I mean? Anything, anybody could. You know what I mean? Is liable to talk about you, make a video. Is this is the world that we live in? You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really take it too seriously because it's not like I really hate any of these guys. I don't really know them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
Yeah.
like I hate them. Yeah. But I was gonna ask you too. Do you get like sometimes some people where it's like they might feel like, because I've heard this on people come to my channel, it's like, oh well, you don't have the right voice, or something like you sound boring and all that. Like do you get that? I don't
Oh,
pay
I
it no
get, I
mind,
get.
but
I don't pay it no mind either. Last time I got that, I was on a panel with Cerulean on this very panel I was hosting a panel, right? It was last year. Me and Cerulean was on the panel, right? This nigga, Little TP, aka Jerome Weiss, I said, he said, you guys is boring. He said, you guys is boring. But here's what Cerulean said in return. He said, why you listen to someone that's boring? And it is an
exactly.
oxymoron. And then that right there, and he shut up and dipped out of that chat room, boy. Little TP didn't want that word, man. I said, man, go sit down somewhere, bro. And a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that in the chat rooms and things like that. And I don't pay them no mind because the funny thing is, some people that listen to me, it's only a handful, and I respect that. But most people outside of these spaces or in black spaces, they would rather not listen to me because my shit's informational. It ain't for everybody. Like I said, my numbers is what it is. It could be 5 1 minute, it could be 15, 20, 50. If I do the fuckery, that's it. It adds up
Mhm.
over time. See, replays is what matters to me because I ain't worrying about the live numbers right now because people gonna listen to this later, what I'm saying, and they're gonna be like, they'll make a decision for themselves. Do they like me or not? They determine that. The algorithm is just a tool they use to manipulate certain numbers, but quiet as kept, it always backfires when people they choose who they listen to. You can't control that. That's just the individual. That's his problem, not mine. Because I had to understand that when I first started streaming last year in April, it's gonna be a year. And I said to myself, I like this. Now you can determine who's who. Even I lost subscribers over this. Still came back with some back.
Mhm.
That shows you the power of live streaming. But it's like the new pre-record. Once you turn this off, it takes time to cut and post. You can edit certain things and chop it up, whatever. It's just what it is. YouTube always had a pre-record mindset. It ain't been a live, just off the go and just save like a vlog stream. Like you
Mhm.
do a live stream from the YouTube. It ain't like that. No, because when you use apps like StreamYard, Zoom, and all the other ones, and Discord and all that, it's not like that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because YouTube adapts certain apps a certain way. It's just like certain things when you learn certain about interfaces that's compatible with your microphones and stuff. Everything is a learning process with tech. So tech is like the future. So I was talking tech, brain trust, but they wasn't actually talking about tech with gear. That's what hurt them back, and a lot of people just average listeners. That's why I've noticed about these spaces. This is why they don't want to be innovated. And it's partially us and it's partially them too. It ain't always had to be
Mhm.
a black thing. That's a common YouTube thing. Yeah, it's a black thing for us. Yeah, because it's a typical stereotype. But the average person nowadays, they don't really want to learn a damn thing. So I get it, man. Like I get what they're saying. I get
Yeah.
what they're saying. But yeah, you're right. Because a lot of people they should push us more. Yeah, but it's the person's interest though. That's the thing. You gotta tap in his head. Does he want it or not? Most people say, fucking, I don't want it or not. I was like, who are you? And they'll say
Yeah.
they'll say some shit if his shit's boring. But why you watching my shit? That don't make no sense. That's an oxymoron. That's an oxymoron, man.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
it's
sad. It's sad, but I'm not even mad at the same time because you know what that shows? You're getting some respect. In so many words, they act like they hate you, but they respect you at the same time. He's doing something about it, content wise, instead of running on panels and attacking people, thinking that's content, and it's not. I let people do that to me, and I let them know that it ain't content, bro. Because you're losing content when you do that. And I try to tell them you have all this talent, and I try to tell people you can't do that over time. That shit wears on you. And I've learned this 2 years ago when I saw people do that. It was cool, pandemic wise and pre. But if you look at it now, it's not conducive, man. Everybody can do that. They can double team you.
yeah.
pull out screenshots, laugh at you. I don't want to use the word doxing, but I want to use it as an example. But it is what it is, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you can't fight back. So it's not like we're on the street corner killing each other. No, they got you. Once they got you, it's over. It's like your reputation online is done. See, offline you can get away with certain things and hide your image and things like that. But I mean, over time you won't get away for at least about 5 months. But on the internet, no, it's weeks, boy. That's 5 days. You're done. If they know something bad about you, what you used to do, or good or reform, but even if you do bad shit underneath, you're done. We just spectate on shit and see who that person is, and then we show our hand when you show yours. It's just basically what it is. And I think the villain sphere was like a counter to the manosphere stuff we was talking about in the points and things we do different. So all the villains move different. I mean, we don't move the same. We did in the beginning, but then we start moving different because I've noticed some certain changes, and that's cool. And then we're getting better over time with our stuff because we're all individuals. We all have our own content. So I've noticed that too. Even the guys that be in the chat doing anything. But shouts out to Gino. He came a long way. He came a long way from
Gino,
for not going off the handle, man. He's a good dude, man. Like I told him, just do your content, man. Try to get away from this incel talk, man. Just try and kill that. But you know what I mean? That's not good because that's like the norm. The feds and CIAs are watching, man. Government's watching, G-Man watching, painting y'all as terrorists like they did with the Hebrew Israelites back in 10 years ago. And I noticed something, and I noticed a pattern. I was like, oh. So you can't say certain things no more. I mean, you can say something what you want on YouTube, just got to be careful with certain words and all that. But after that gets tainted, But Kevin took the easy way out. That's to make certain people happy. So I'm not really mad about that. That's just what it is. And then other individuals, they do the same thing. You made him. Now it's y'all's fault. Y'all got to take that L, man.
That's right.
Like, you gotta take that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, man. I appreciate building with you, man. I'm gonna step down, man. I'm gonna go get me something to eat, but I'll be listening in the clouds and in and out the chat, man.
Hopefully, all right, appreciate you, man. Anytime, I always do these Sundays. All right, you're always welcome.
All right, thanks, man. Peace.
All right, peace. Yeah, folks, that's Absalom Pianki TV. Subscribe to him. He's got a good channel. He's got an excellent channel, and shouts out to him. This is the second time he came on the panel. Last time we was on the panel, we was talking about the Sapio stuff, and I got that from Complex and them and the Brain Trust. We was really getting into it in so many words, and that was like 2 years ago. I was talking about tech and that as well, and he did like every night, like over the West Coast, and I was on the East Coast. It was like 3 a.m, 4 a.m. It was like 1 a.m, right? But it was 1 a.m. when he started, right, over here, and his was like, okay, it was 1 a.m, it was 12, 11. It was okay, it was 10 o'clock his time, Pacific time, but Eastern time was 1 a.m. It was a 4-hour difference. He did that a lot, and we did it. It was basically saying was what type of content you're producing. So a lot of times people just want to listen to what you got to say, man. But see, on air, you can say a lot on air. So again, people gonna pick and choose what they want. So you can't get mad when people don't like your content and things like that. So it's 4:44 over here. So it's 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 22 seconds. So when you're doing this type of content, I'm on my handheld right now, so y'all got to forgive me. That's just what it is, and you build off that. So certain people's doing things. I'm just watching the news right now on my phone, looking at this mess over here in Ukraine, the fall in the latest on France 24. France 24 is all right. I mean, that's the English version of it. I haven't seen the one in French. I've seen a little pieces of it, but yeah, man, like I have no problems with people doing anything. So people are going to be who they are. What Lapeef said, where is the black mafia? Oh Lord. See here, these niggas always reaching, man. Like, why y'all talk about some weird stuff? See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Y'all got to get off this mafioso shit. Days is dead, bro. That gang shit is dead, bro. Everybody telling each other they police and everything. Shouts out to Tasi what he said in that stream. I fell asleep. I fell asleep in the beginning of this stream. My brain was like a little rattled, because that's all that carbohydrates. I had some starch. I had some potatoes. Man, I was like tired, man. Like I didn't know if I was gonna do this stream. Like, god damn. And I had to start. I was like, what the fuck? And I had to start, man. My brain was getting loose. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad it's been 2 hours. I'll wait till it hits the 3 hour mark and then I'll shout everybody out and then I'll dip. Because it's gonna be another 3 hour to me. That's my standard. When it gets to 3 hours, I'm gonna cut it off. After that, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to keep it to a minimum. And it is what it is. So a lot of people say it's gonna be another marathon. No, it ain't gonna be another marathon because people's in their respective places. I know people having little mini fallouts. I'm laughing as we speak. And we're gonna be who we are, man. Like normally we just here. Some people just gonna look at it and be like, hey man, this dude is crazy. And I just keep it that way. A lot of people say, you didn't check this guy and that. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a shit. I don't care for nigga shit. I destroy the shit. I'm not gonna argue about points and all that. Like, dude, you ain't got no content, bro. You ain't got the content to me bite off all. Because if I went at you, it wouldn't be nothing. I'll destroy you on certain things. Yeah, screenshots piss people off. That's what they do. Yeah, it's fun. We can be petty and all that stuff. It's cool. Ain't got no issue with that. But as of this week, and this is going to be a current thing, yes, Sunday streams will be open discussions and open panels and things like that. Y'all can chop it up with me, whatever. Every other Tuesday, I'm going to stop doing it. But if y'all ask for the link, I'll drop it in the chat, and I'm not going to pin it. I'll tell you that right now. Because I ain't afraid to talk to nobody. And I'll do that. And then I'll drop it again. I'm going to stop doing that too. And especially this Thursday too, because I want something different. I want to experiment my Thursday thrills by myself. When it's springtime, I'm gonna do the same thing with the new Thursday thing, and that's it. And I talk to y'all in the chat room, and that's what I'm gonna start doing because I learned when you do open discussion, you can talk people this way. You get people coming in and things like that. So you stay with it. Now, if they ask for a link, that's cool. I mean, you asked me for those 3 times a stream. So yeah, Sundays I always open this up. I'm just relaxing, to be honest with you. And people ask me why I don't do the open things on Thursday. It's not that, it's just I'm tired. I've done enough of those. And recent events, I learned something. I'm not doing it again. I'm just gonna stick it with Sunday. Sundays is more conducive to me because I'm driving home Sundays versus open it up. You know what I'm saying? But Tuesday streams, yeah. If they ask me to drop the link and things like that, that's cool. So we'll see. I don't care who it is. If they ask for it, I'll drop it. And that's gonna be my new thing from now on. Y'all heard it here first this Sunday. If y'all ask, I'll drop it. I'm not gonna argue with nobody. If you disagree, here's the link. And it'll all disappear. I already know what time it is. Just think about it. Because I'm always watch replays of my stuff. But like I said, man, some people just gonna look at it different and they don't really care what I'm saying. But yeah, I was trying to interface, man. I gotta see what's compatible to that mic wise. So yeah. Let me step away for a minute. I'll be right back. I'm back. Yeah, man. Because one thing I can say in so many words. Um, let's see where I left off. Yeah, I talked about mindless topics a lot. Glorify echo chambers. Let me expound on no pure leadership. Um, what you say, and some people say black communities and things like that, right? I hear this a lot. You know, that's my answer to it. No peer leadership, and I think this is a good topic to talk about and reference. If they watch this and on the playback, there is no peer leadership. I think I said something about leadership in one of my, I think it was independent thinking series, and probably in one of my streams on the Thursday Thrills, I said this. I think I was on the panel with Wolf talking about that. I wasn't talking about the leadership he thinks. He's on some other shit when he was talking like that. Me, I was on the leadership as us over here. There's no leadership. He can't speak from my experience. So no shots at him, but he don't see what we see. We're not the same, bro. You just over there across the pond. But me over here in the US, we deal with this shit every day. And that's a normal thing. And I think people don't understand that that's part of our issue. There will never be pure leadership and things like that nature. So when you deal with that long term, you don't see this a lot. So when guys talk like that, you question things like that. And that's just what it is. And I'm not saying anything what goes on here. So people got their different preferences and things like that. But when you do Sunday Madness, and I think I done enough streams that people came on my panels the first time coming through. This is going to be like every week thing, and we talk about open topics, open discussions, and we keep it 1,000, man. We keep it up here, what it is above board, and that's one of the things I like about the Sunday afternoons. You get to understand who I am, and I'm sharing the content with the viewing audience. We can have a discussion, and we just move on. We can have a build, it's whatever, and it extends that. But most people, they're not on that type of time. So I know people say it's Sunday. So yeah, it's gonna be topics that I'm not gonna have a lot of panel people. I'll probably have 2 or 3 in the spring. There'll be some days I'll be gone. But this summer you're gonna see I'm not gonna be around. That whole month of July, yeah, I'm out of here. Until the end of July when I come back. In late August, yeah. I'll do some content again. You know what I'm saying? Because August is where it's gonna be. That's just me. But July, it's a whole nother. I'm not gonna get into in details, but July is July, right? So I'm not worried about YouTube like that. Y'all get that out of your fucking heads. So in the spring, it's gonna be a little different. But April, I'm gonna be on fire. I'm gonna do my best. This month it's kind of rocky for me because I got to get used to the swing of things. You're gonna see some differences. March is very, very loose. So just be mindful of March. It's gonna be some things, changes and things like that. So yeah. So I'm not really surprised like that. And that's just what it is. And I know people just not going to see things eye to eye. But yeah, man. Yeah, because I know people are not going to get the message and things like that nature. So, a lot of people just going to be who they are, man. And I think when Absalom was talking about the stuff people say my content is boring, it can be boring for most people. Yes, it can be boring for most people, and I don't care. That's their opinion. But to somebody else, it's not. They'll listen to you. You got people that listen to people that have boring content creators that gets 200 people in the room. And quiet as kept, the average person that be in chat rooms that be up to 15,000 on YouTube will look at a page that's in the 900 all the way down to this number. It's boring. So what are these people talking about? Think about it. You don't have that crowd. You got a lot of trolls. You don't have a lot of mods. There's a difference. I got 30 plus mods over here. Obviously, that's a lot. That's not a lot. Most people have blue rooms. They got up to 50, 60, and 80 that have small channels. Big channels don't have that. They have less than mine. Be 25, 15, or 4. I'll say 4 to 30, the most. Actually, standard wise. And then you don't see a lot of wrenches over here. I mean, you do, but you don't see as much. But when I get new people come in, they ain't scared to type. If you see someone else don't have a wrench, you'll get that crowd. Once you have that crowd, you'll realize you hardly ever see my mods. So people gotta understand the stuff they talking about shit's boring. That's that individual. That's not the majority of YouTube. If they pick and choose and not like my content, they have a right. That's their freedom of speech, freedom of listening. They don't have to listen to me. They don't have to listen to me 24 hours. They don't. And I learned this years ago. So when I did the live streams, I don't give a fuck. That's their opinion. It's not mine. What's the point? So I'm not really mad at anybody. I'm not really mad at those individuals. So it is what it is, bro. Like, we know what goes on YouTube. I know what's going on YouTube, and I look in the clouds and see what's going on, and I just keep that shit to myself because certain individuals ain't going to compensate what we do and things like that. But, you know, we're going to keep it as it is. And I'm going to stick to that. So you're going to see some changes this week, all the way from the whole year. And Sundays is going to be the same. Sunday's going to be the same. But the other days, no, it's going to be a little different because I'm going to write some notes down when I talk. When we talk about subjects and you see what's going on in the world and is it really conducive? People want to ask for the link, I'll throw it to them. And that's it. I ain't gonna do no damn marathons. Damn sure gonna tell you that. I ain't doing no fucking marathons. I did that shit already. I did that shit last year. No more. Because a lot of people think that's conducive. You know, people's worrying about this year. I ain't worried about this year. This year's a wrap, you know, for certain people. But a lot of people just want to get upset and don't understand. I ain't talking subliminal. I'm just talking for me, from my perspective. I'm over here. Everybody's not going to listen to me right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, I treat this thing what it is. So, yeah, they choose when to listen to and what not to listen to. Like, I give a fuck. So, yeah, like, people choose what they want to listen to. So, you know, Absalom made some great points. And I'm just looking at it for so many reasons. And people choose what they do. Like, you can't get mad at certain individuals not liking you, man. And I said this many times on streams. I don't care if I'm not liked. You know what I'm saying? And I learned to accept that a long time ago. Like, especially in these newer spaces. And I said, I don't give a fuck. It's gonna get to a point that over time, people's gonna come around. I'm waiting for that. You know, since I got 1,000 subscribers, I'm just gonna focus on my content for this whole year. The petty stuff, yeah, it's gonna be over to advisors and things like that. But if something comes up, that's cool. That's cool. And I'll stick to my content. If things go left, if they do go left, I'm staying right here. And I'm not tripping. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not tripping what the situation is going to be. And it is what it is. I tell people if they don't want to fuck with me no more, that's cool. We're going to remain cordial. Like I said, we're just associates. We're not really friends, this shit. You know, the meetup can happen. It may not. So people try to ask for that shit for years. When I was doing pre-records, it never happened. I don't trust people off this shit. I treat people what it is. It's like an association, and that's it. We just communicate. That's all we are. It's a very, 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 very different spaces that we're in. So I understand people don't like what we're saying, and things like that. And it's all good, man. It's all good. It's all great. We're not really mad at individuals. We're just trying to get you to understand that I don't give a fuck anymore. Quiet is kept. Y'all can be on that type of time. I am too a little bit, but I'm on a different type of time when I focus on my content and things like that. You know, I done had enough feel with the nigga shit. You know, niggas just gonna be who they are, and they gonna hate regardless. Everybody's in the sundress season. Someone would say, it's true. I don't give a shit about sundress season. I don't give a fuck about none of that. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be chilling in the spring and just stick to the politics and the news that I care about. My little interest in sports. Sometimes, some people just don't give a shit, and you're not gonna see me around on a lot of shit. I'm just gonna let y'all know right now, and I just don't give a shit, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'll do a lot of pre-records if I have to compensate my mind and just move the fuck on. So I'll do various topics like that. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna go there. But the first week of around my birthday week, I'm not gonna be around. Y'all gonna see a difference. I'm not going to be around. Just gonna let y'all know. I'm not gonna be around. I'm not gonna be around. It's a totally different ball game on my end. I'm letting y'all know now. And it's just what it is. And I'm not pissed off at anybody. It's just we'll see where the true colors lie. So we're gonna see this. This is gonna be one of those times. We're here now. And it is what it is. Some people just choose to do different things. So we're not really pissed at nobody. We just keep it 1,000 up here. So everybody has a point in the matter. So yeah, the sky's kind of blue right now. You know, Sunday Madness is what it is. You know, if it gets a little dark, I switch to Avatar or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. So, like I said, man, like shouts out to everybody that came through. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the APTV, Absalom Pianki TV, APTV. Yeah, check him out, man. He has an excellent channel. Appreciate the bro. He does good content, and he got flagged recently. This is like his third channel, whatever. Appreciate him though. Degenerate, Real Deal, all you guys, Sean, Matt. Appreciate y'all for coming through today. So, you know, it's a decent crowd. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Psycho, what's going on? Okay, Psycho, that's cool. That's cool, man. That's cool. I know people are not going to care. And it's just what it is, man. Like, it is what it is. So one thing I can say, like, I'm just like, I'm glad he asked me that question. Why people think content creators, some of them can be boring. The listener, that's their opinion. Like, I knew this was coming. And it's funny as hell when people say that I was boring like that. It was last year. I get that a lot. It ain't nothing new. And everybody trying to say, why he ain't up there with those guys? There's a reason why. There's a reason why. If you look at my old content, I was out there. Barbershops talking like this. Different perspective. Just rough. But a lot of people just ain't gonna like you regardless. It's just what it is. There's certain people that do and certain people that don't. And I'm okay with that. It's like I learned to progress. When niggas choose not to like you, that's a great sign. People choose who the fuck they want to listen to. And you can't get mad about that. So normally, like, I don't give a fuck what another person thinks. I really don't, quiet as kept. And anybody that know me personally, off this shit, You know I don't give a fuck. You guys, my personal family, they'll tell you he don't give a fuck. This nigga don't give a fuck. They don't care. I move on to something else and stay on that for a long time. Tell you, I'm a Torian, man. We hold a lot of grudges for angst for years, and then we'll forget about you for the next 10 years, and we'll forget all about that shit in time, and we don't care. Like I said, I did that a pre-record. That's in general. I said, I don't care. I stand on that. If people don't like that, fine. I'm not holding your hand. And that's a good thing, because I stand where I stand at. But I'm not going to argue with you about that shit for eons. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. That goes to anybody. I don't discriminate, man. I told you. I don't have to be clandestine to people. I don't have to. And that's just the truth. I mean, we're gonna be cordial regardless. I'm just not gonna speak regularly. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be what it is. If y'all treat me a certain way, I'm gonna treat you a certain way. It's tit for tat over here, because I have a nice sized channel. I'm gonna remain that. So ain't no threat, ain't no promise. It's just what it is. I'm just trying to keep people to understand that most people don't care what I do or not off here. They really don't. One slip up, you're gone. I studied this shit. I studied this shit for 2 years about these live streams and the old live streams people get done in and publicly executed. You don't put yourself out there like that. So when people do shit like that, you're putting yourself at risk. And the good thing about learning this, outside off here, it's a lot better than you think. So I'm not really tripping about what's going on. So most people don't care what I think. And that's a good thing, because I was one of those people when I started content, man, off this second channel right here. I got hail. Oh, I got the most hail, and I got used to it. And let me tell you something, it is great. And even now it's great. Because even through all the bullshit, it's great in spirit. And I don't let nobody take that away from me at all, because quiet is kept. Most people gonna be who they are. And you learn this by growth, doing your content, actually getting your audio shit up. Like I recently, and I mean, it's not compatible with this mic. I was trying to get the XLR me clean with y'all. I was like, God damn, I need another interface to match this microphone. Still learning as I go. I'm in the interfaces right now and proper tools and recording. So I'm into that right now. A little podcasting, and try to work on a second channel. Not a second channel, but another channel, I would say. It'll be my third one on here. And then create another channel on another website so I can thrive. That's what I'm thinking about doing, because this shit on YouTube is not conducive long term. And I've seen the ups and downs, the miseries of people struggle. I'll go somewhere else. It's that simple. It's just, I can do that. And if people appreciate me, what my content is, I can do that. And shouts out to Soul and Black. He said that in the pre-record. He said, that's what I'm going to do. If you rock with certain people, shit changes. Shit changes. Shit changes. But it is what it is. It's like, I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. And I'm not surprised. And I'm not even mad. Like, y'all gotta understand, like, when I do this shit, I just stick to what I'm good at on this side of the corner. You know what I'm saying? But apparently people don't understand that about me on this shit. But off this shit, I'm a different person, man. But I'm the same, really, with the same cadence and all that stuff. I'm different. I move different out here off this shit. I just have a different way of looking at it. But it's the same recourse you're gonna get. Same personality. It's just I have extra shit with me. You know what I'm saying? But on here, I don't really care, man. It's like, this ain't no persona. This is just what it is. It's my content. I upgrade a lot and people don't care. So yeah, man. But it is what it is. I think people just don't really care this much. And the same people that don't care, they keep it pushing. And but people are going to talk about their mindless topics, glorify echo chambers, and no pure leadership. And that's my it on the pure leadership part. And it is what it is. So I think a lot of times I look at these things, those three topics I jot down, and that's something I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about something else. I said, nah, I want to change it. Stick to one I had from last Thursday. Then the mindless topics. Talk about the relationship topics. They become mindless over time. People ain't learning a damn thing with those. It's a dead end on both sides, really. But it's a good conversation to have, but they're mindless at the end of the day because you ain't really learning a damn thing. Other person just want some extra shit. That's how I look at it. Even though my parents been married for like almost 30 plus years, going on 40 some years. That's a feat. That's a feat. No one's ever done that. In this era, it's a feat. It'll be 40 some years in 2024. It's a feat. We'll see. But it is what it is because most people ain't conducive what I'm talking about. They just want to talk about certain things they want to talk about. And that's cool. Everybody has their viewpoint of who they listen to. I don't force people to like me or things like that. No. You think for your damn self. It's just what it is. If people don't rock with me, that's cool. I'm not even hurt by that. That's just what it is. People act like I care, really, but I really don't. I really don't. I really don't care. Like, people just act like this is a thing, but I really don't give a shit. Like, you have to say YouTube is one of those things they try to say it's nigga YouTube. No, it's just YouTube, period. No matter if it's nigga tube, white tube, it don't matter. People forget about this shit. You can't make it racial. This is what it is. Most people don't give a fuck, man. Like, I've been on this thing longer than anybody since my first channel when it got taken down 10 years ago. And it's the same old shit. Like, the real shit was good over time, and then when we got taken away, things went left. People went left, man. That's part of the fucking culture. People act like it's different. No, it's the same shit. The difference is it's wide open. You can't hide no more. Come on, man. People talk way more shit on panels now. Confidence. I know this content creator. I know him. No, you don't. You barely know him. That's the bullshit I'm talking about. Like, people act like they know you, but they ain't got their angst is so fake as hell. And that's just what it is, man. Like, I've seen a lot of shit that people say and disappear and go. And you got to look at it for what it is, bro. Most people don't care. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't care. Yeah, but after this, I'm wait till it gets to 5:30 or something like that. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna watch Information Man, and he's got a good topic about the whole situation, the war over there. And yeah, man, like this is good, y'all. This is good. I'll wait till the 3 hour mark hit, and I'm just gonna stick with it because I'm not gonna talk 4 to 5 hours like normally. If the conversation is good, if you want to extend it that long, if people want to come through, I can do that next Sunday and talk about something else. I can do that. That's just who I am, man. Like, I'm not trying to force people to come over here long term. I don't do that. That's just a whole nother story on me. You know what I'm saying? What does he say right here? It went from atheism versus Christians to relationship talk. Now it's mostly relationship talk. Exactly. That's basically what it was. The 07 from 2012 That's why I remember old YouTube. That's all it was about: atheism and Christianity. Islam and all the other religions on the goddamn bottom. Real reason, it was kind of like anarchism versus totalitarianism arguments. That was real debates and real discussions. That's the whole concept why I brought those topics up, because I'm taking it back to days when it used to be meaning something, because we're here on the tail end of this fucking country. Because you got a lot of anarchists out here preaching anarchy. These young people, they're tired of the same old shit and the totalitarianism structures. That's what you got. And the reason I'm bringing it up for the third time, we're going to talk about Putin extensively and things like that. So, yes, there's going to be some info and there's going to be some links to what we're saying. And you got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with that. You understand? But yeah, it's exactly what it was back then. It was a little bit back then. He said, I remember that white dude TJ with the atheism stuff. Now you'll have an easier time to find alpha male red pill type of stuff. Yeah, but that's a whole nother beast on that. Yeah, it's a lot easier now. But back in the day, it was a lot of them, but now it's a little bit harder. Can't really say much no more. Atheism is different, man. So what you saying in so many words, people gonna be who they are. And that's the thing about being content creators. You understand where your lane is. So on Social Blade, they label me as nonprofit. I saw my Social Blade. Lofty said it's accurate. Yeah, it's accurate because they count AdSense money. Oblivion said that on Kuda's panel. I saw that stream he did for 9 hours. He kicked the old boy off. And I watched in the beginning and the midway of the stream in the 5 hours. He said YouTube's average check YouTube, he said, is if you're monetized, is 52,000 grand, 52 grand total. Where he's at is 56 grand in Philadelphia. But it's 52 grand total around all of US, damn near. Where he's at is probably 56 grand per month or year. And that's the average YouTuber that's making that type of money. And it adds up if you're a big YouTuber or not. So what he's saying was the AdSense money counts on these Social Blades and these algorithm graphs. They don't count super chats. They don't count that. They don't count that. They count the AdSense money. It adds up. So again, that's just what it is. So it's very accurate. So if it's nonprofit, I'm a C+ channel, my average channel. That's just what it is. But you got to understand something. I'm one of the last relics that's talking nonprofit and activism and use educational shit left and right, left and right, left and right. I'm not for everybody, man. Like I told you in the beginning of this year and last year, I'm not for everybody. It's for the select few. I'm not for everybody. Everybody will come through and cheer up, say what's up and all this other stuff. That's great and all. It is what it is. So a lot of people are going to deal with me different. So I learned to respect that. And I had some thoughts this morning and yesterday, last night, and I was just like, I said to myself, recent events, I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is cool. And I think this is a good move for me. So I ain't gonna speak on it on air, but I'm just like, I'm just giving y'all an idea of the changes I'm gonna make in my content. So I'm not mad. I'll stay with it. People ask, I'm not gonna respond and ask or anything what's going on. It is what it is. So yeah. He said, what is it? Yeah, I don't understand anarchy and looking into going off the grid, becoming more self-sufficient should be the way of things. Too much dependence on the exactly. Yeah. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Everybody's got their own lane to push, and people gonna listen to it, and that's a good thing. I mean, people gonna get upset regardless. So what you have is you have the same situation going on. So I'm not saying anything crazy, but it is what it is. Some people just don't care. And I learned to accept that. And I said, you know what? It's good to write things down. I'm gonna probably write some things down about certain things that I'm gonna talk about. And unlike most people, they ain't gonna listen. And I don't care if they don't listen or not. Like playback, that's what the playback's for. Like I give a fuck what someone's opinion says. Don't mean anything. Don't mean shit. Fuck opinions. I deal with facts over here, sir. Everybody has their own opinions. I don't believe in opinions. I mean, I have opinions every now and then, but I don't believe in them. I don't believe in a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand on this YouTube shit, I don't believe anything what people say on YouTube. I don't. I don't think y'all don't know who the fuck I am. Like me, I look at this shit as minute. Once I don't give a fuck about it, I'm done with it. Like, bruh, this shit will die in the next 5 to 10 years. It's done, bruh. There's other sites better than this shit. After it dies, I'm gonna talk foul about it and the people that was a part of it. You think I'm gonna just no, man? You be surprised. I'll be nowhere to be found. You ain't gonna know who I else, and you ain't gonna find me when I use different type of microphones. I'll go to a platform like wherever it is. Y'all ain't gonna find my ass. And so what happened to that nigga? That nigga dipped. That nigga dipped. And outside of that, you'd be like, wow. He went from this. Yeah. Kevin did the right thing. Kevin did something that I thought about doing a long time ago, but I ain't gonna take that route. That's the easy way. Right? He took the relationship route. I ain't doing that. I'm gonna do something that ain't popular and just take it and let it marinate. This shit, if it's still up, I'm still be around. I'm just not gonna do that much content anymore. And you're gonna be like, wow, it's sitting. Yeah, it's been sitting. I just do live streams every Sunday, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. And it is what it is, man. Like I see this for what it is, bro. And pick subjects and just move on. I got a couple of streams I did that was random and make series out of them. I can do that. It's just it depends on what you want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And make them in my new standard Wednesday streams. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I look at things, man. Like some people look at things from not from an integral perspective like I do, but it's a handful. But the majority of the world, no, they minds don't think like that. I see it for what it is, especially on YouTube. You got to look at it integral as you can because you don't know what things can change and determine where you may not be. Yeah. Yeah. Let's read that again. I'm going to give it a star. Hold on. I'm going to read this shit right here. He said, you may not have the popularity, but you have the consistency and evergreen content that and be revisit time and time again. Facts. That's the whole purpose of me. I can be the most villainous person to the grain against topics, right? Go against the grain, right? But when it comes to evergreen content, can't defeat that. Results speaks for itself. I've did this before, man. It's nothing new. Left this shit for 5 years, came back on the 6th year and killed it. This can go on again and again. If this site ever lasts this long, I highly doubt it. Y'all gotta understand something. I don't really care, bro. Like YouTube is like, to me, here's what YouTube is. YouTube is like a sports league. Quiet as kept. It's like a sports league. It's a marathon. You can lose this shit and come right back. It's like it has a lot of politics into it. But it's like that. It's not a war of patrician. No, this is like a sports league. It could be a semi-sports league or a betting competition or a boxing league or some shit. You come right back swinging. The shit can go, or the site can go any day now, and people still don't give a fuck. I just know people on websites, not just them personally, because personally they may be a different person. They may be the same, but they have a different outlook. Probably gonna have problems with you, and they ain't really. And you got some that are built like that. I respect. There's some that are like they show it and we see it, and then if you met him in person, yeah, he's built like that. But then you got those. A lot of those I've seen ain't really built like that. That's why I don't really say much. I let them talk until they get that rope, and that's it. But but that's just what it is. But the whole purpose of what we're talking about in so many words, that's just when you talk about live streams and subject matters and things like that in pre-records, yeah, it gets like that. Some people just don't want to be a part of the culture of live streaming and podcasting and things like that. You know, you can say what you want. It's different types of podcasts. I've watched several. People talk about current events and a lot of things. You can have conversations. I'm just ready to have them. This year, this month, next month, and it's gonna continue. People try to say they want off air. I stopped doing that. I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna stop doing that because I know people love doing that, but I'm gonna stop doing it. On my end, y'all heard it here first. I'm gonna stop doing that. If it's not conducive to my content or anything, if it ain't business, I'm not fucking with it long term. Y'all heard it here first. I'm not going to participate in that unless I'm asked. What's going on, Mace? Appreciate you, man. Salute, salute, salute. But it's not conducive to me because I got my other shit to deal with. I got to move forward. Um, you heard it here first from the vice captain and everybody else. If anyone asks, I am not going to participate in that because the summer I'm just going to get my mind cleared and focus on what I'm going to do in the future and things like that. So get my shit right. So again, you know, I'll be right back, y'all. I'm going on mute. Yeah, I'm back at it again. Back at it again. Yeah, that last statement. Yeah, I'm confirming that now, so I'm good on that. So I'm gonna stick with my content and just be focus driven because I got some topics I want to talk about the news and things like that, what's going on, and then talk about the politics in Georgia. You know, real current events over here, and look up some articles and shit. And I'll talk about that. You know, I'm gonna stick with it probably every Wednesday, things like that. Thursday, same thing. Talk about a little politics. I'm gonna bring politics talks back. If y'all ask for the link, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm not gonna post it no more. This coming up this week from now on, like for Tuesdays, every other Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. If you ask for the link, I'll drop it. Y'all just gotta ask for it. I'll drop it in the chat. And if someone try to ambush you out of here, you know what I'm saying? I'm not playing this year because this year I won't stick to what I'm gonna do. But yeah. Okay, cool. It is what it is. I think people just got to look at it for what it is, man. Like, but Sunday Madness will always gonna be open discussions, what you would say, chats or panels. That's when I get my downtime. Like Sundays, you can catch me on that. If I want a discussion, we talk about various things. It's a free for all. That's why I called it that. So Sunday Madness is conducive. I'll have the thing posted. That ain't changing. But the other days, they're changing because I feel like, what I learned from this year, nah, not again. And I'm just going to be conducive with it because everybody's not going to be participating like that. And that's a good thing for me to get ahead of this shit until the summer. I already know what I'm going to do. People ain't going to listen to me long term. So I already know what time it is, man. Y'all can't tell me how conducive this shit is. You gotta understand something. Most people don't care, and I don't think they care. You can't get mad at the world all the time. So I learned this all the time. So especially on YouTube, I'm not trying to do that. I ain't like caring, like, bruh, y'all can have that shit. I don't give a fuck about this shit. Y'all on that type of bullshit. I'm not. Yeah, we can be petty and make jokes and make fun of everybody, but we can handle it. But if people want to be a roundabout way, like, man, I ain't got time for that, bro. I'm 30 plus years old. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Y'all can do what you do. Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all ask, that's cool, but I'm not gonna talk about everything that y'all want to hear. I dip. Like I told you, man, like I don't really care at this point. So when it gets to the 3 hour mark, because I came in later, I fell asleep, before I even had this thing going. So, you know what I'm saying? The Manosphere shit is kind of dead. So, and I'm gonna switch it real quick. Yeah, because it's getting a little dark. I'm gonna go here for a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna start talking. But like I said, man, Sunday Madness is in the books. It's another one. Appreciate everybody coming through. Psycho Candy and Mace, and I shout out everybody else in the tail end, like from Shar, from all the way through Travis, I believe, in HBIC RS. Appreciate you coming through. And Degenerate, our fellow villain, and Real Deal. Yeah, so all of them and Matt. Yeah, I shouted out everybody. So appreciate y'all coming through, man. Like it's another one, and we completed this topic. The topic was mindless topics, glorified echo chambers, and no pure leadership. And it's no shot at nobody. This is just in general. I'm talking about what I observe in these spaces and things like that. This is like my little report, my progress report. How I look at it over 2 years, and I'm already ahead of the curve. So now I'm gonna focus on the content. The big shit, I'm just gonna put it on the back burner, and then I'm gonna focus on what's going on in Georgia. Because people talking shit about the politics here, but they don't know what the fuck they talking about. They never voted in the day of their life. They're so fucking dumb. I participate in the process, which they don't. They're ignorant to the fact that I treat people what it is. Don't come in here with that bullshit. Like y'all can't tell me about a state I've lived here for decades and try to transition out of it. So again, people gonna be people. And I saw that on Ramil shit. I just shook my head. I'm like, man, what the fuck are they talking about? These niggas don't know shit. That's why I don't do panels like that. You got dumb people on panels, and this is what I'm talking about. I said this last year. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. Fucking idiots, man. Like, this is why I need to bring back those conversations again. Before the screenshots, the dumb shit. The dumb shit. So I'm signing off, everyone. So I'm out. Oh, hell, Great Skull. And I'm out in peace.